Hello and welcome to Roleplay Rejects, where we play new and unusual tabletop role-playing games. In Side Quest, we're taking a break from our longer stories to play just a few sessions of some very unique role-playing games out there. So sit back and enjoy. What game decides that they're going to release on a Monday? Like, you're just starting the week. At that point, the week's shot. You're going to work and you're just like, can't wait to get home. You're getting no work done.
Especially while school is in. Like, if it was over the summer, I would kind of understand. Like, maybe their target audience is kids who are home for the summer and it doesn't really matter. But yeah, Monday makes no sense.
Yeah, just like kick it down just that couple extra days. Really drive home the hype over that week.
Hype it, release it on like a Thursday. So the
Thursday
diehard
at midnight.
So the diehard fans take all of Friday off and are able to hype it up.
Yeah, and they're like, no, thought's gone. All right.
I don't know, maybe they're really looking for like their diehard fans, and so they're like, only the bestest of the best will take off the entire week of work.
Well, Warhammer 40K isn't really known for its diehard fans.
Oh, okay.
Is there something else going on that Friday that they just don't want to compete with?
Oh, that might be a thing.
Oh.
9/11.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know what? Maybe Monday's
I don't know
okay.
if that is.
It's the week of 9/11 that Space Marine 2 comes out.
Hold please. Let me
Which
look
I
at the
know is
calendar.
now in the past, dear listener.
Yeah.
But
Well, that's on a Wednesday.
Yeah, I was going to say 9/11 is not on a Friday.
do a lot of people get 9/11 off though?
No.
No. They don't want it on Friday the 13th?
Is it a Friday?
Maybe,
oh, yeah.
Maybe that's why. Maybe they're superstitious.
Oh, no.
Yep.
No, there's no way.
Yeah, I bet you that's it.
I mean, why take the chance?
Release
You know?
it the week after, though.
That's why most hotels
the
only have
40K universe.
12 floors.
Oh, yeah, true.
The hotel we were at for Nova, 12 floors.
Did it have 12 floors?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Thought it only went up to 10.
Did it?
I'm pretty sure it went up to 12.
Did it go up to 12? Wait,
Pretty sure I have no idea.
the staff party was on the top floor.
Which was the 10th floor.
Yeah, that was
I
10.
get it. You guys are cool.
Yeah. Hey,
I
we're
had
also...
a staff badge too, so I don't know why.
Yeah,
I was
you were invited.
I wasn't there. I was busy.
But you were
being
invited.
Not there.
You were
I
just
wasn't
too cool
invited.
to
I
come.
didn't get an email.
I didn't either. I just had the staff badge.
No, you did.
Who gave me an
We
email?
were both on it.
Who sent me an email?
Nova.
What?
Well, if you don't remember it happening, then obviously it didn't.
Yeah, my memory is infallible.
Infallible.
Fallible.
That's
But
what
his
he said.
vocabulary is not.
my vocabulary.
What was that quote? Often. Hold please. I wrote it down.
No, we're so good at
Seldom
this.
correct, but never unsure.
Yeah, that's me.
I love that.
That's good.
Listen, you just got to say it with confidence, and then everyone will believe you.
Yeah, like the 12th floor thing.
Yeah. Damien was on board.
No, I was, though.
We're all
we are
on
wrong.
board. No, we're all right.
My kids started painting. Because we have a box of just random resin minis or just
The box of
old-
shame.
The box of shame.
Yeah. Oh, we
but
all
it's-
have a
but
box
it's
of
more
shame.
Shameful than the box of shame because it's
Why?
also like just the old stuff that I've had for a millennia. Not just the other boxes of shame that are scattered about here that hold unpainted minis, but ones that are so old that I don't actually know what they are anymore.
Dude, that's impressive.
I'm
Most of
pretty sure
mine, I
it's
pull
Age of
them out,
Sigmar
and I'm like,
stuff.
oh, I think I like printed that for Star Wars. Maybe it looks like a Dune character. Like, that's pretty cool. I was consolidating all of my boxes of shame the other day. I'm down to 1 tote of shame.
Oh,
Yeah.
1 tote of shame,
Congratulations.
1
please.
tote of shame.
This is my box of shame.
You have a box of shame?
All the dice that I never actually finished. And some of them, I don't know what the vision was.
Hey,
I don't know what it was. And some of them I'm like, wow, I wish I had completed this because this looks sick, but now the mold is all fucked up. So I can't complete it.
Wait, the mold or the mushrooms?
The mold. Oh.
ridiculous. But anyway, your
Her dice are really cool.
Shameest
They
of
have
shames.
mushrooms in
yeah.
them.
Shame of shames. So I've handed that over to my kid. And
Yeah.
let her
as all good parents do.
and let her paint some
Yeah.
of this stuff because I'm not going to paint it.
Mhm.
I mean, at this point, it's just stuff that it's not even like on the list. It's well off the list. It
Yeah.
has been off the list for decades. So
Not literal decades.
not literal decades, but like
Maybe 1 decade?
No.
It's been a while. Yeah. So she was painting one of these, and then she painted like a metal carapace because it's like a Tyranid hive ship.
Cool.
something.
Yeah.
So she started painting the metal on it, and then she was like, "Oh, but I'm gonna put some red on here because it's bleeding."
It's
And I was like,
juicing blood is the verbiage she used.
Oh, yeah?
And I looked
Juicing
at Damien
blood.
like, what the fuck?
Bro, she is your kid.
and then she was like,
Like-
and now it's got metal on it to protect it from bleeding anymore.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Dude, she gets Warhammer.
She gets Warhammer.
I
Yeah.
hope that she really enjoys this when she's older. Like, I think it would be so cool for her to be a little nerd, like, grew up painting, like, goes to Warhammer conventions, like, TTRPG cons. Like, I don't know. I hope she continues to like it because she definitely has a really good imagination right now. And if she just keeps that going, like, she'll have so much fun as an adult.
Yeah, she won't have to go through that slump that a lot of adults do where they're like, I need to be serious.
Or like, I don't have any hobbies. I guess I have to pick up insert awful
Reading.
thing
Just
here.
reading books.
No, reading's not an awful
I love
hobby.
reading.
Yeah, but
I was
like,
thinking like golf.
golf.
you know?
No one's ever like, what if golf?
Are
Or-
you sure?
Yeah, 19% sure.
Or even worse, just being like the sports guy.
I don't know. Some people get pretty into sports and they enjoy it.
Yeah.
And there are fantasy leagues.
There are fantasy leagues, and I'm a part of one reluctantly.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Oh.
The sports guy, everybody.
Yeah,
Hey.
yeah, that's me.
Yeah,
Damien
the sports guy of the
Sports.
group.
Damien Sports Reject.
Mr. Football over here.
Yeah, I completely missed the draft night because I was at Nova. So I'm hoping that the AI or whatever algorithm picked all my team for me.
I mean,
Nice.
you were
Picked
doing
good.
more important things.
I was absolutely doing more
Oh,
important
yeah.
things. Literally, the only reason I joined this whole thing, anyways, was because, like we were just sitting there bullshitting. And they're like, "Oh, I'm thinking about doing a fantasy league," and I'm like, "I'm not going to participate. I don't watch football. I don't care enough about it." And then they're like, "But that's why you should join because, like, what if you end up winning because you care so little about it?" So then I was like,
And then you can
Sure.
piss off everyone else that's there.
won't
Yep.
that be great? I think I received a trade, and I'm not going to go through with it because I don't just to fuck with other people. I think that's going to be my goal.
What you should do is try and trade your entire team during the course of the season.
Oh, really?
I don't know.
Just
I don't know
start
how
off
these things
with
work.
a completely
I don't know- I
different
don't know either.
team.
Is it still your team if you have no?
If you've replaced
Yeah.
every single person on the team.
No, you should min-max your team. Try and get only linebackers.
There we go. That's the move. No, just kickers.
Just kickers. Oh, okay.
Literally all of my fantasy knowledge comes from that show, The League. And
Yeah.
that's not a good
Source.
it's not a good source.
That's okay. It's better than my source. You said all of my fantasy comes from, and I was like, fantasy, like our type of fantasy.
TTRPG,
Like I literally,
yeah.
I was like already lost. I forgot we were talking about sports. I was like, how does this tie into football? So
Maybe we
There's
should
that.
start playing Blood Bowl.
It does look kind of fun.
It does. I saw a really cool squirrel army.
That feels correct.
Someone at my table while I was running games there was excited about like Durgar or like evil dwarves
Okay, yeah.
as part of one of the teams coming out.
Gotcha.
So,
Sorry.
no, I'm sorry. I wasn't looking up. So we just got back from Nova. You guys listening to this, it'll probably have been
A
couple weeks since Nova passed, but we wanted to talk about it a little bit to hopefully entice you guys to try and make it out next year. We're going to be real annoying about it because we love Nova, and so we think it'd be super sick if even more people came to Nova. But
Misty, Nova's a wargaming convention. Why would I, a TTRPG enthusiast, want to go?
well, Damien, I'm glad you asked. We host some of the TTRPGs over at Nova, if you didn't know, and we're trying to grow the RPG area. I
will say it's not just us though. It's like Nova as an organization is trying to do a lot more in the RPG space.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's Nova's push, but like we're excited about it, so we're trying to help out. And we're not the only ones who run games there. There's a couple of other people who've been helping run their TTRPGs since even before we got there. And I would say there's a pretty decent variety of games to play already.
Some of the big ones were Shadowrun, Blade Runner, the Aliens RPG.
Mm-hmm.
There was a 5e module that was like created from a first edition dungeon.
Yeah, it was fun. I went and played that one. It was really fun. And then there was like another couple of other 5e tables that ran, and they all seemed really cool.
Yeah. There was one specifically for kids, which I thought was really cool. They were like, hey.
And they looked like they were having a blast.
Oh, yeah. The dude who was running it brought a fart in a jar.
He did?
Yeah, I don't know what it was, but he's like, it smells stinky. So if your game smells stinky, I'm sorry. And I was like, I'm used to that. Our listeners are all stinky. But yeah, lots of cool variety out there. And then I ran the Star Wars RPG, did some Force and Destiny, Clone Wars things.
And then I ran Fallout, which I think might be just a mainstay for Nova. I've been enjoying it.
Yeah.
And
a lot of people really enjoyed it too.
That's good. And then Warhammer 40k Imperium Maledictum, which is like, I guess you could almost, well, it's a D100 based system like Call of Cthulhu, but set in the Warhammer universe where you're just one of the lowly dregs of the Imperium uplifted from the muck by a patron, someone way higher up in the ranks than you are. And they pick you because you have some kind of a talent, but ultimately your patron doesn't give a crap if you die or not because they can always get another one. A lot of fun.
Yeah. And then Misty had Lady Blackbird ready to go.
Yeah, I didn't end up getting to play it though, which was kind of a bummer. But that's kind of to be expected with games that even TTRPGers haven't heard of. So going to a war gaming convention where a lot of people are new to TTRPGs, like it would stand to reason that they're going through the list of games and they're like, what is that? You know, so.
I didn't do anything there. I just stopped by on Saturday because it was, I wasn't able to go during the other days. But I did bring our kid, and I want to point out that it's very kid-friendly. So if you're like, oh no, but like I've got no one to watch my kid, you bring your kid. There's lots of stuff for them to do there. Everyone's so friendly. Like there's a couple games that she was able to like look at.
There's one that she picked up and kind of started kicking my ass at.
Yeah. she kicks your mom's ass at it too.
Yeah.
Oh, is it
Sage
the Sage
Stones,
Stones?
yeah.
Stones.
Yeah. So
That one's a really fun game.
just a very kid-friendly place too.
Yeah. And there's tons of like painting there.
I got to meet some of my like painting heroes at Nova. It was really cool.
That's cool.
Yeah. Vince V is just one of the coolest painters out there. And he did a panel. I went to the panel and sat like 10 feet from him and then, said hi.
That is cool.
Yeah. And lots of cool YouTubers were there.
Yeah, we met Brent from Goobertown Hobbies. He's super cool. And then if you guys haven't seen the Glacial Geeks YouTube video that we mentioned in our Discord and on Instagram, we got to meet Phil from the Glacial Geek, and that was super great. He's amazing. Just such a passionate person. And he's so kind. And Wesley and I had a minute where we got to like just chat about every nerd aspect of ourselves for like, I don't even know. It was probably a good like 2 or 3 hours, I swear. We just clicked. And he's mainly been into like wargaming lately and painting. But he said that like the way he was introduced to being a nerd in general was through Vampire the Masquerade, which we haven't played yet. And so we started geeking out about that because we're like, oh my gosh, it's on our list. And he was like, I can't believe you guys haven't played that yet.
That's cool that he started with that.
Yeah, isn't it?
Like,
I know. I was
most people, it's like D&D or Pathfinder. But
yeah. I was like, ooh.
he went hard.
One of us.
Yeah, in the video, I saw that he said that he started out like, and he was doing role playing.
Mm-hmm.
But then he didn't mention what it was. So it's wild to hear that it was Vampire the Masquerade.
Isn't it? Yeah. If I remember correctly, Phil, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure he hasn't played D&D, or if he has, it's like he's played other games way more than he's ever played D&D, which I think is really cool since, like we're trying to play all of these games that are new and unusual. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But yeah, that was such a cool experience getting to meet him. And I'm super excited for us to be able to like be friends with him and hopefully maybe do something in the future. We have some ideas going, but yeah, that was sick. The cosplay was sick. All of the Capital Palette entries were so cool. There was like over 1,000, I believe, entries for the Capital Palette, which is their like painting competition, which is the biggest it's ever been. And just looking at those, they were so inspiring. Like, I don't know. I think part of me was like, oh, like, am I going to feel bad looking at these? Because my minis never look like that, But no, I looked at all of them and I was like, oh, I want to paint like that. That's so cool. I could do that maybe.
Dude, there was one, I think it was a Reaver Titan that was like stepping through like an ocean floor kind of thing.
Yeah.
And the base of it was like a couple of inches thick, but you could see through it and see like the ocean floor and the water effects as the leg was like lifting out from the ocean. It was so cool.
It's so much resin. It looked heavy.
Yeah, it looked super heavy.
Yeah.
They like carted it in on something when they brought it in.
Were there when
when they showed up, we were like, ooh, what's that?
And then there was that goblin like flying out of a mine shaft as it was exploding. The lighting effects on there.
Dude, it was beautiful. And there was one that was inspired by cave paintings. Did you all see that one?
Oh yeah,
with all the handprints on it.
Yeah, it was one of the knight models for the Imperial Knights.
Yeah,
but,
it was beautiful.
All the armor plates had those like hand paintings or like the stick kind of drawings.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, everything there was just so cool. So yeah, and they also have like board games at Nova. Like there's literally so many things that you can do. It's not just about wargaming. And they really are trying to, grow. They'll always have wargaming. That's the core of why they started, was to help charities out and play war games. So that's never going to change. But what they are looking to is to add to the nerddom. So if you guys have time next year, you should definitely put it on your calendars and try and come, even if it's just for a day.
Yeah, come hang out with us.
Yeah, it'd be so sick. I don't know if I could handle meeting one of you guys. I'd just probably cry. Like, you guys listen to us?
I wasn't me. I'd just be like, no, I just found this shirt on the ground.
Roleplay rejects. Who's that? Like, it's right on your shirt. No, it's not.
Like I said, I found this on the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good time, though.
Yeah, super duper fun. Big fan.
5 out of 7, perfect score.
Speaking of 5 out of 7 perfect score, Monument Studios, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As we release this, it's going to be their last couple days of their Kickstarter.
Yeah, literally, like, this will be released, and then I think you have 3 days. Let me check the calendar. 2 days. You'll have 2 days to finalize your purchases for their Kickstarter if that's something that you're wanting to do. Highly recommend. It's so easy to use, you guys.
And, I mean, Joseph started it, but then we all kind of started hopping into it. Just cycling through, and we, like, just before we started recording this, we were just cycling through all of these different, like, soundscapes, and then we were just trying to, like, set the scene of what that soundscape made us think of.
Yeah.
So
it's like a dumb little improv game.
Yeah,
and it was fun.
So, you know, not only are you getting sick music for your role-playing games, but now you also have a built-in party game when you guys don't want to have a serious role-playing moment.
Yeah.
Now you know.
But yeah, the whole UI is, I mean, we've been working on it now for like a couple weeks, just here
like
and there,
about
like,
a month
around with
Yeah.
it. Easy to use.
Mm-hmm. And it's going to get even easier to use once the Kickstarter is finished and they're able to make the updates that they're wanting to make. Update. They did make it to the stretch goal for the desktop client.
Yes.
So if any of you guys contributed that, thank you, because we are very excited about that.
Yeah, desktop and mobile. So, like, if you're just running a little home game, you can play it on your phone. You can play it out of your computer. Like, it's wonderful.
I might end up listening to it at work.
Yeah, I probably will too, honestly.
Some of it's just nice to vibe to.
Yeah. And it's like, it's all really good music. And sometimes when you're at work, like, you don't want to listen to, like, music with lyrics to it, because then
it pulls you out of the focusing on whatever you're doing.
Yeah, I can't read and listen to bops at the same time. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
For a while, Star Wars lo-fi was kind of the one that I went to, but then I started just like paying way too much attention to it, and now I can't listen to it all that often.
I found a really good Pokemon lo-fi.
Oh no!
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
But this stuff doesn't have a trademark associated with it. So, like, you're not going to sit there and be, like, reminiscing on...
Yeah, Duel of the Fates playing, but it's lo-fi version.
That's a bop. You can't stop. You can't stop listening to that and, like, just, like, jamming out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
and with this stuff being usable, right, with it not being tied to any intellectual property or whatever, if you are recording podcasts or YouTube videos or whatever, you can use this in the background. Like we are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Super sick. You guys ready to play a little one shot?
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, there's not much about it. And
Me either.
I'm excited about it. Okay, so I'm going to do a lot of reading.
Okay.
Because this game is a total of like 2 pages long, and it's in like a brochure format. So if I were to print it out and like fold it up, it'd maybe be like 1 page front and back, for all of the rules, including if you wanted to play solo/co-op, and their safety tools that they introduce. So like, it's pretty quick and easy. This game is called Dungeons of the Dungeons, and it is written by Devin White. It is based off of Pasión de las Pasiones, which is a telenovela style RPG. I know. I see it at our local game store all the time, and I'm like, man, this would be so funny. And also, I don't know if I want to play it on the podcast.
I didn't know that existed.
It's amazing. The cover is literally like a bad romance novel. I'll show you.
So the shirtless guy?
It is her shirtless guy.
It got Fabio on it?
No, but
I just remember seeing so many books with Fabio on it.
Is it a shirtless guy with long hair?
No.
Fabio.
He has short hair.
Okay.
And he's with a girl.
Okay. Is there any sort of like bearskin rug on it? Okay.
Are there flowers?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wait, I want to see. Oh, yeah, that looks like a Twilight fanfic for sure.
Yeah, it's amazing. But so when I read that, right, I was like, oh, cool. I've been wanting to play that game. I don't know if I really want to commit to playing that game. We'll do this little one shot. So when I was looking into it, Pasión de las Pasiones is actually a Powered by the Apocalypse game. And so the rule set that they're using for Dungeon of the Dungeons is not Pasión de las Pasiones. It is Powered by the Apocalypse rule set.
Okay.
Now, Damien, I see your hesitation because the last time we played a PBTA game, it was not our favorite.
What do you mean? What game could that possibly have been?
You know what it is. And if you, listener, don't know what it is, you haven't gotten there yet, and that might be good. But anyway, this rule set makes me not question Powered by the Apocalypse anymore. Because I was like, man, all these games use this rule system, and I hate it. I don't think I hate it, though. I don't think I hate it. We'll play this and we'll see how it goes. A big part of this game is us creating this world together. So we're either going to choose from a list of things, or each of our choices can be rolled for, which I think is pretty fun. We'll create our story. Then I will switch out of the music we're listening to right now for Fantasy Plus, depending on some of the rolls we make. And we'll get started. Okay? Cool.
Let's go.
So, first thing we're going to do is we are going to create our characters. You're going to choose your class. Then you're going to give yourself a character name and pronouns. And then you're going to write 3 identifying features. Now, there are classes that we have to go off of. So, let me know when you're ready and I'll read them to you.
Ready.
Okay. You're going to choose from the following classes. Each class has a unique question and 3 special items that you're going to get with this thing. Okay. So the first one is Bard. Your question would be, are you drawing attention to yourself? And your equipment would be rapier, ornate clothing, and a lute. The next thing is Cleric. Are you furthering your deity's virtue? You get to choose the virtue. That would be love, judgment, or truth. And then your equipment would be mace, ceremonial robes, and a divine symbol. The next one's fighter. Are you relying on brute strength? Then you've got a giant axe, heavy armor, and warhorn. The next class is a knight. Have you kept your vow? Choose a vow of either silence, mercy, or justice. And then you get a sword, shield, and an adorned armor. I said that weird. It's not written that weird, but those are what you get. Next thing is a ranger. And then your question is, are you aided by your pet? You can choose either a wolf, bear, or a raven. And then you get bow and arrows, ratty clothes, and a hunting knife. Next one is rogue. Is no one watching you? Is your question. Then you have dual daggers, dark clothing, and loaded dice. And then the last one is wizard. Are you using a spell? Are you using a spell to aid you? You can choose a school of destruction, illusion, or enchantment magic. And then you will get a staff, ornate robes, and lore books.
How many classes are there in total?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7.
I'm gonna roll for mine.
Okay.
Rolling a d8, re-rolling 8.
Okay.
4.
You are a knight.
Oh, all right.
Roll 3.
You are a fighter.
I would like to be a ranger.
Okay.
But
do you guys need me to reread the equipment?
Are you using brute strength for question?
Are you relying on brute strength?
And then
The knight is, have you kept your vow? And then the ranger is, are you aided by your pet?
I would like to roll for pet, though.
Okay.
Okay. So 1, 2, 3 of them, right?
Yep.
Cool.
what is my equipment?
4. What's that get me?
That's a bear.
I love bears.
Okay. Your
It can be a rump polar bear.
okay.
That's my
Your
dream
equipment
pet.
is giant axe, heavy armor, and a warhorn. Damien, yours is sword, shield, and adorned armor. And then Joseph, you have bow and arrows, ratty clothes, and a hunting knife.
You said there
Handwriting's
were,
just so much better with a pencil.
there were vows listed.
Oh yeah. You can choose the vow of silence, mercy, or justice.
Okay. Oh, hold on. Oh, yeah. D3. 2.
Mercy?
Silence.
Oh. Oh, yeah, because 1 and 2. I know
Yeah.
math.
Okay.
How's that going to work on an audio podcast, Damien?
I'm going to make it work.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
He could describe his actions.
Yeah, that's kind of the vibe that I want to go with. And I think this will be a fun little challenge.
Okay. All right.
In addition to your special items, you have a set of rations and 3 uses of dungeon gear. Your 3 uses of gear can be used to produce basic items like torches, rope, whatever. And then you also have 1 bonus item that you can choose. And that you go ahead and choose that right now. You'll stick to that. But then any of your dungeon gear, it's kind of like Blaze in the Dark, where you can be like, I've had this the whole time. And then you have it the whole time.
But the bonus item is something that we pick now.
Yep.
Ooh, that's tough.
Yeah.
Let's see. You're both good at fighting. You are a fighter. You are a knight.
Yeah.
I am a ranger.
I was going to say a med kit
You want a med kit? Okay.
because I do be fighting, which means I do be getting injured.
I think if I'm a ranger, I should be the sneaky one. So I would like a dark cloak of invisibility.
Sure.
Cloak
Wait,
of,
I can do stuff like
a
that?
cloak
Yeah.
of
What?
Yeah, it's just 1 bonus item. So,
no, I'm gonna call it a cloak of starry night.
okay.
So it functions kind of like a invisibility cloak, but only at nighttime.
Okay.
That's cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Trying to think. So I'm a knight.
Because we are doing like high fantasy for this, right?
Well, that's going to be something we can talk about.
Oh,
so
okay.
It's not necessarily part of the rules in here. But since we're in character creation mode right now, let's talk about that. Like, do we want it to be high fantasy? We haven't done high fantasy in a minute.
Yes.
So
I
think
was like,
that
I
would be
can have
fine.
a cursed dragon skull. I don't know why I wanted that. I don't know what it's cursed with.
I don't either, but we'll
We'll
find out.
I don't know why. Yeah, I was just like, a dragon skull would be sick. I don't know where I'm going to hold it.
Ooh.
You're a fighter. maybe it could be like,
Or I could use it. I could just carry it on my back.
well, you have a war horn. So maybe your war horn is made from a dragon horn.
Ooh.
And it's cursed. You can also just carry it on your back if you want the whole skull. Whatever makes you happy. I'm just here to facilitate happiness and potential death. Later, though.
Oh, no, I don't know what I want.
That's too much like a Pathfinder class.
It's hard just being able to have whatever you want.
Yeah. When you don't know,
Because I'm like, what do
Would
I
it
have? Like, because I was like, a ladder.
Would it help if we talked about kind of the vibe we want to set?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to roll for some of these other things, right? So like one of the things that we'll roll for is like what our BBEG, excuse me, is going to be, right? So we'll roll for that. Another thing we will roll for is how to like creating our dungeon. And so your dungeon is going to be one of 6 things: a cavern, a jail, a forest, a shipwreck, sewers, or a fortress. And so it won't necessarily be like, we won't know what that is until we roll, right? Mm-hmm. But what we can pick is right now is like the vibe, which might help you with your bonus items, because if you guys decide to be super serious, maybe you do go with cursed skull, you know? Or if maybe you want it to be silly goofy, maybe it's a rubber mallet. I don't know.
So maybe we decide the location, and that would help us decide what we are bringing with us.
Or is that
to
against
that
the
location?
rules?
I don't think that's against the rules. We can do that.
Yeah, because like maybe a ladder would be helpful.
Yeah.
But that's probably just going to equate dungeon gear.
Yeah. I would say your bonus item should be something cool.
Something cool.
And that can mean a million things, right? But like,
So an extendable ladder.
but I'm saying, like, if you said to me, I have a ladder, I'd be like, okay, cool. That's one of your dungeon gear pieces. Unless you want it to be like
A magic
ladder that goes to heaven or something like that. Then I would probably have that be a bonus item.
Book of the Forced Vow.
Okay.
That sounds intense.
Force other people to be
Silent?
silent.
Okay.
Ooh, that's cool.
How do you activate it?
Open the page.
Okay. And does it affect everyone in the area, or does it affect just one person?
I think it's only creatures with an intelligence score of 3 or higher who would be able to actually understand it and understand the vow that they're being forced to uptake.
Okay.
So not like the silent spell in Pathfinder, but like...
I just looked up magic items. Forearm bracers, where you have the bracers and then you have an extra set of like, they look kind of ghosty arms.
Oh, cool.
I get it. Forearm.
Yeah, it's such a dumb pun.
I love it.
Well, it's like the in 5e, there's like the Way of the Spectral hand.
Yeah, for the
or
monk.
something.
Yeah.
You look like that siren from Borderlands.
Oh, yeah. Amara?
Something like that, yeah. She's so cool. Sorry, I just want to play Borderlands again.
Borderlands 4. They had the
When is it coming out?
teaser trailer. They just have a teaser trailer for it right
Probably
now.
not for a while.
It's not going to be for a while, but like we need to catch up a lot though, because we need to go through Tiny Tina's Wonderland, and then we have to go through New Tales from the Borderlands to like make sure that we're fully caught up, and then we also have to go back to Borderlands 3 and play through all the DLCs just to make sure we're like fully good. And then we might actually have to watch the movie, even though I've heard that it's kind of a flop, but we should probably
It has
watch
not
it
done
anyways.
well. It's going to be
Yeah, I've heard.
it's going to be on streaming services soon, if not already.
Dang. Rip.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll have full
A lot
thoughts
of big
after I
names
watch.
in it though.
Did you guys see the trailer for the Minecraft movie?
Yeah.
Yeah. Jack Black.
I'm so excited.
It's so unnecessary, but I'm still excited to see Jack Black.
I just love him.
He's just so cool.
I was reading a review and they're like, the reason you don't like the Minecraft trailer is because you read reviews like this and you're not an 8-year-old. And I was like, yeah, that tracks. So,
Okay, vibe. What we wantin'?
That's kind of a hard one because I don't know.
We're bad at sticking to the vibe sometimes.
yeah.
That's okay, but
The
I
highest
think
probably
it's
that's
more
important to
casual.
set up a little more casual.
Yeah, probably not like super duper serious.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like the D&D movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of the
That's
vibe I'm
Silly
feeling.
bits, but there are some like oof
Yeah.
moments.
Yeah. D&D movie. I can get down with that. Okay. So knowing that, do you guys want to pick one of the 6 reasons you're entering the dungeon, or do you want to roll for it?
Roll for it.
Okay. Who's going to roll?
Damien's got it.
1.
A terrible threat is growing.
Oh.
Yes. The threat.
The threat, TM.
For whatever reason, I just am seeing like a baby dragon that's growing up. So the threat is quite literally growing.
Literally growing.
Ooh. We can use that.
Okay. What kind of minions are growing alongside a baby dragon?
I don't know.
Oh,
Because don't we have to go location as well?
We do have to find
yeah.
the location, yes.
So maybe we
roll
that.
the location.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like a kraken would work too, and then the minions would literally be the kraken's tentacles.
Ooh, that'd be really cool. Do you remember the
3.
A forest.
Oh,
Okay. All right. You guys need to watch Delicious in Dungeon.
yeah. I
There.
think I've now added it to my list.
Good.
But
There is mimic treasure at one point that like attacks the adventurers, and that's one of my new favorite like enemies that I'm gonna throw into something somewhere. But like little flying coins and stuff.
so
yeah.
like the whole thing, not just treasure chest, the class.
No, like the
treasure
coins are
itself.
like actually beetles and stuff, and it's really
And
cool.
they're
Oh.
2 different creatures that like
like a
Coexist.
symbiotic
Yes, yeah.
relationship.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
dude, Delicious in Dungeon, so much fun.
it is.
Okay.
Okay, so a terrible threat is growing in our forest. The next thing that we need to create are some denizens of said forest.
Okay.
Is this like free form?
Are we given any guidance?
This is what it says. Create some denizens for the dungeon. Avoid just saying a generic race. There are no evil races in DOTD. Instead, create denizens with a purpose that conflicts with the party. These are threats to overcome, but killing does not have to be the answer, even in combat. So these are things that I can come up with by myself if you guys would like to be surprised. I'm totally cool with doing that. We can also create them as a table if you guys have ideas you're excited about.
Could be like that lady in Lake Placid who's like raising the crocodiles.
Dude,
I have no idea.
And then, but like, it could be like this person's raising the dragon.
okay. I was thinking some sort of like Greenpeace type group inside the forest that doesn't want us messing with the wildlife. So I like where we're going with this.
And I was thinking like a witch, like Baba Yaga level, because
Ooh.
That's kind of like, because I was like, she can, because I don't know if she in the movie lures people in, but she kind of, I don't think she really like stops them. It's been like literal multiple decades since I've seen this movie.
What movie is this? I haven't
Lake
heard of it.
Placid.
Oh, okay. I thought you were just talking about a person at Lake Placid, but
No.
okay.
I think it's Lake Placid, but it's just
Okay.
like a series of movies about giant crocodiles
Nice. Okay.
in this lake that eat people.
Cool.
I need to watch that again. Yeah, but she like at the end of one of the movies, you can see her feeding these baby crocodiles because
Cool.
I think they didn't know the crocodile had babies.
Yeah.
So, yeah. She's just like, yay. Doesn't really care that people got eaten.
I mean, people suck. That's fair. Animals should be rewarded for not being people.
That's true. Someone said that, like, it's weird that we as animals ourselves aren't allowed to just sniff things to figure out more about it. Like, if you do that, people are going to look at you weird if you just see an object and you sniff it.
In Pathfinder Society, there's like one of the different like sects of the Pathfinder Society that you get bonuses, like bonus XP, if at some point during the scenario you've like tasted an object to try and find more out about its purpose.
That's awesome. Misty and I are listening to Lord of the Rings. The
Andy Serkis.
Oh yeah, the Andy Serkis version.
It's the most important version.
Dude, he voices like everybody.
All like 130 something characters have a different voice.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's freaking impressive. It's really cool.
I've got like 4.
Yeah.
And that's pushing it.
Is that including Fleshbird?
Well,
I guess 5.
I guess I have 5.
That's one of my favorites, though. I love that voice. I don't know why. It's so disturbing.
Oh man.
Maybe that's why I have the vow of silence.
Because you talk like this?
It's terrible. The Black Riders, the Ring Wraiths, they don't have a sense of sight, like at all, in the book. I did not realize that watching the movie. I just thought the sniffing was like creepy, but like
that makes sense why they
don't catch them.
Yeah, I was like, damn, that was
a real close call. But yeah, it makes total sense now. They don't have a sense of sight.
That makes them spooky still.
But they do see shadows. They see shadows of things that we see and things that we don't see.
Whoa.
Yeah, how creepy is that? And so at noonday, because there are very few shadows, they are effectively blind. But at nighttime, they can see almost everything.
Oh.
Yeah. How cool is that?
That's dope.
That's awesome lore.
I know, right?
I can't believe I didn't know that. I mean, it makes sense since I haven't read the books. But...
Dude, I highly recommend them. And the Andy Serkis version, it's fun to listen to.
Yeah, it's honestly one of the most entertaining things I've ever listened to, if not the most entertaining. I would say probably number 1.
Okay.
Yeah. But also,
so
I love
stop the
Lord of
episode
Rings.
and
we'll just we're good. We're done here. Okay, so the next bit of decisions that we have to make slash roll for, I guess the last period is. Sorry, I have hiccups.
I'll forgive you.
Thank you.
It's okay. The editor can edit out every single one of them.
That'd be awful. Please don't do that. The last thing is to choose or roll the boss that you'll end up fighting. Now,
I think you should just roll it.
I think you should roll it because I've rolled 1. Stevie's rolled 1.
But if we roll
I think we should listen to what Misty's gonna say.
Yep, probably should.
That's the one.
Or we could just keep on.
No.
You guys
That
talked
would be
about there
very
being a growing
rude if we
threat,
kept doing that.
Yeah.
being like a dragon, right?
Yeah.
There is a dragon on this list. There's also an evil wizard, a fallen hero, a bandit king, an infected beast, and a dimensional demon. So we could just choose to go along with kind of the headcanon you guys are already going with. Or we can roll and tie in baby dragon however we need to, right? Like that's definitely a thing we can do.
What were you thinking?
I was thinking we roll, but the dragon is somehow flavored as one of those things.
Okay, because I was thinking if we don't want to roll, the wizard could be more like a witch. Has something to do with baby dragon. We only know about the dragon.
Okay.
But then we're like, surprise witch lady raising baby dragon.
Surprise witch. You
Sorry.
That's you can't even
I
quote
butchered
it.
that, really.
I did too.
I was just like,
I was just laughing too much.
So there has to be a dragon and a witch still, but I think you
Okay,
roll
we
for
can-
other stuff.
Oh. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
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 And then you roll it so that then we don't know.
we don't
what's
know
going
what
on.
it is.
Okay,
Yeah.
you don't want to know the boss?
No.
No.
Okay.
Oh,
All right.
secrets.
And if she rolls the dragon or the witch, that'll surprise us anyway.
Oh my god, yeah, we'll be like, where's this other threat? And
Where's
there
the
is
other
no other threat.
Damien's covering his eyes.
Are we good?
I think you took a vow of silence, not a vow of blindness.
Okay. Yeah, I think we're good.
All right.
Okay.
Now I feel like we're in trouble.
No, you're not. It's just these are part of the reason I wanted to play this game is because it is on the spot improv as far as like, okay, we've rolled it, now we've got to make a story.
Let's go.
But it's hard because now I have to create a story. So
It's my favorite way to go.
Mm-hmm.
No prep.
No prep. It's the only way, really.
I lied.
yeah,
I love
you do
prepping.
all the prep.
I do a lot of prep, but when I do one shots, not so much.
Okay. So before we can play the game, we need to know the rules. They're pretty easy. Thank heavens, because it's me who's running this. It says moves drive the action forward and help you decide what happens when someone does something risky.
God damn. Dragon
It's kind of
roar,
scary. Yeah. This is a track literally called Dragon Forest on Fantasy Plus. So sorry if the dragon is a little alarming, listeners, but
Yeah, I
It
was
sets the
not
vibe.
ready for that.
we've already listened to it even, and I kind of forgot that it was there.
I honestly forgot it was there too.
I haven't listened to it. I didn't have my headphones on while you guys were looking
Oh.
through it.
Oh,
Yeah, that was quite the jump scare.
sorry.
No, it's all good.
Surprise!
Here we go.
Okay, so rolling. When you activate rolling moves. When you activate a move's trigger, answer both move questions as well as your class question. Then roll 2 6-sided dice and add 1 for each yes. So 10 plus, you do the effect. 7 to 9, you do the effect and face a consequence. And then 6 or below, you face a consequence. Then you've got preparing. When you create an advantage, basically ask yourselves, like, do you have the right items? Are you free of interference? And then if so, then you can gain an advantage. And you can always give this to an ally, that advantage that you generate. Then you've got act. When you're dealing with a threat. Again, the questions are, do you have the right items? Do you have the advantage? And then add your personal question. And then if so, then you can overcome that threat. You don't have to prepare to have the advantage, but it can help. So there's that. Then you have damage. When you are dealt damage, mark harm. You have a max of 3 harm that you get to put. So just like on your little cards that we're using, just mark 3 and erase them or something like that. When you rest in a relatively safe area, you may consume your rations and clear 2 harm. Then there's a special move called Defy Death. When you take a mortal blow, or when you would harm, I wish I could read. When you would mark harm for a 4th time, roll a 2 6-sided, I can't read. Roll 2 6-sided die and add +1 for each harm. 10 plus, you will die. ask or tell the guide how. 7 through 9, you fight off death for now. 6 or below, you catch a lucky break and you clear 1 harm.
Okay, so you want to be low on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Weird. Okay.
Yeah, it is a little weird that it's not the same.
Yeah.
And that's it.
All right.
You guys ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go.
Let's introduce your guys' characters because we talked about what they are, but what are their names?
Charlotte.
Charlotte.
Yeah, but I spelled it dumb.
That's okay.
My name's Green. This is my animal companion, Red.
And it's a burr.
And it's a burr.
Burr.
What type of burr?
He's a polar bear.
Okay.
Polar pervert.
Roger.
Murderer. But I think polar bears are kind of like rare in this area, and so people just assume that he's an albino black bear,
Okay.
but he's really a polar bear.
Cool. Why is he named Red?
Well,
Blood.
when I found him, he was red,
Oh.
but then we got him washed up, and he's good now.
Okay.
Sir Knight. Definitely not canonically the character from Hunt.
The exact same.
Maybe the exact same, just while he was on his vow of silence for a little while. Who knows? You know, whatever.
Yeah.
I have a shield with a crest on it, and it's you know, the like see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil kind of monkeys.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that, but it's a human there with a hand over their mouth.
Cool.
Yeah, the armor, it's adorned to look badass and gold and shit. It's like gold swirl inlays and everything
Okay.
around the armor.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah. And the sword's also equally gold and cool. Not the blade itself, because that would be ineffective.
Yeah, gold's a pretty soft metal.
Yeah. If my character could talk, anytime that dragon roar comes up, he'd just be like, oh shit.
And Stevie, did you choose your bonus item?
The forearm bracers.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Cool.
Like Sheba.
Yeah. Dude, Records of Ragnarok. Season 2.
Okay.
So good.
Is Sheba in it?
Shiva? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
It's so good. Jack the Ripper is in it as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just watch it.
Okay. So you guys have been called together. You all are from a village nearby. And this village is part of a greater kingdom. And you've been called by the king to come and be given a task. Each of you, I think I said you're all from the same village. You don't necessarily have to be, but the point is that you are all the best at what you do in these various villages that are part of the greater kingdom. Do you guys want to be a part of the same village or different villages? Do you want to know each other or not is basically the question.
No, for me, dog.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Do you want to be from the same village?
Sure.
The village
What's
of
your name? Green. Okay.
the village of celery.
Of what?
Celery.
Celery?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry, what was your name?
Charlotte.
Charlotte.
Do you want me to spell that for you?
I do.
SHARLOT.
Okay. L-O-T. I love it.
That the name Charlotte was said earlier today, and my brain forgot how to spell Charlotte, so that was what my brain told me.
Dude.
And I couldn't get it out, and I was like, that's just going to be my character's name today.
All right.
And then, Damien, since you are a knight, would you like to be from the kingdom proper? Like the main city, and you are a knight of that castle? Or would you like to be a knight that's like from a village who's kind of more on patrol, less like they're guarding the keep?
I'm seeing more of like the more historically accurate kind of medieval leadership kind of a system, where knight houses would probably be of people of noble birth who could afford the kinds of armor and would have had their own peasantry as they live in their keep, kind of like overseeing some like small area.
Ooh,
like a subsect of.
Do you oversee the town of Celery?
Oh, actually, yeah. Let's do that.
Okay.
Okay.
How do you spell that?
S-E-L-L-R-Y.
I spelled it like celery. So I spelled
Yeah,
it wrong.
but you had a weird spelling, so now I need a weird selling.
Goodness gracious.
So I forgot what you said already.
Sell? Like the word
Cell and then
S-E-
R-Y?
Just R-Y. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, no E, no vowel, except for the Y. Kind of a vowel. Not really. It wants to be.
Okay. Anyway. So you guys are from this celery village. And you and a bunch of other groups from the surrounding villages have been called to the castle to talk to the king. And essentially you got this vague letter saying, you're the best there is at what you do. The king needs you.
But there's other people here too?
Yeah.
Did they get the same letter saying they're the best? Because they aren't. We're the best.
Well, it's like they need more than 3 people.
I don't know.
But we're going in small groups, I'm sure.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, and also they are all different specialties.
Oh.
So like you
okay.
know how we had like a wizard and like a rogue that you could have
Gotcha.
rolled for?
Yeah. Okay.
Like those are the things that
Getting upset
yeah,
that
like
the kingdom called on more than 3 people.
Right?
How dare the king?
It's like, you're the best, but all of them are too. Like, no.
the best at what they do.
Okay. All right.
Okay. And you get to the king's court. It's beautiful white marble everywhere, floor to ceiling, and these really luscious purple and red velvet curtains that hang down with gold banners above them that have the crest of the kingdom in. It's so scary. I remember when we said it wasn't scary. It's kind of scary. The crest of the kingdom stitched into them, and you're kind of all gathered in a little group circle right next to the throne, and the king stands up and addresses you all and says, "Thank you so much for coming. As I'm sure you've started to hear rumblings, there's a terrible threat growing in the forest near our beloved kingdom, and I have tried my best to stave off this threat, but everything we've tried thus far has been to no avail. So I've gathered the best of the best from our little kingdom, and that's all of you. And I humbly ask you to utilize your professions to
just to save us all, really. Unfortunately, most of the scouts that we've sent have not come back. And so we don't know very much about the imminent threat, but what we do know is that 2 of the scouts that did make it back were pretty heavily scorched, and our brave knights have assessed their injuries based off of their experiences, and we are pretty sure that it is a dragon that is what has been terrorizing our lands. Please go. Team up however is best for you. And then whoever out of you vanquishes this dragon will be bestowed riches and will be elevated in status for this kingdom, for the great sacrifice that you have given, and for the effort that you will likely undergo in killing this dragon. Are there any questions before I send you off? All right. Godspeed. And he kind of gives you all a small, like, little bow, nod of his head type thing. It kind of shows just how worried he really is about this dragon, because when does a king bow to other people, even slightly? And then he sits back down on his throne, and the guards kind of usher you out of the castle and towards the forest. During this time, and I know we did this during character creation, but I'm going to revamp it a little. During this time, kind of on your way out of the castle, they're giving you the rations. They're giving you these dungeon items, the gear that you will need for your journey. And they're kind of allowing each person to pick from whatever is available to make sure that you guys have the resources that you need in order to accomplish this task.
Before we leave the castle, I would like to talk with one of the guards.
Okay.
Be like, Sir Guard.
Yes.
The king said that there were 2 scouts that did make it back. Is there any way we could go and visit the infirmary and see if they have more details that maybe they did not see fit to give directly to someone as high up as the king?
I don't see why not. Unfortunately, from what I understand, they are severely burned. I don't know how cognizant they are, but sure, if it helps you guys take care of this pest, I say let's go do it. And so he kind of brings you guys along. If you 2 are wanting to go.
I overheard that, and I'm like, I will join.
Okay.
I nod.
You nod. Okay. So he takes you over to the infirmary, and you walk in, and it's still that beautiful white marble. It's everywhere in the castle, but it's a little off-putting here in the infirmary because it really feels too clean. It's not as gaudy as it was in that throne room. It's just kind of hospital-y. But you walk in, and on 2 of the wooden beds there are these 2 scouts. And you can tell, like, they're still kind of in this, like, adventuring type outfit. You can tell that it's more so that they can't take it off of them rather than they should be still in this adventuring gear. And the closer you get, you can see that it is pretty well melted into their skin. Tons of scorch marks, a lot of their like facial hair is missing and burnt, and some of their head hair as well. But their leathers did do them some good, even though they are a little bit melted. You can tell that they probably would be dead had they not been wearing decent armor.
So as a ranger, I would like to kind of look at the wounds and try and determine, like, is this a traditional like fire scorch, or is it like an acid scorch?
Okay.
And like try and determine maybe the breed of dragon from these wounds.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and actually, I don't think I need to make you roll per the rules. Prepare, act, damage. Yeah, you're not really doing any of those. So yeah, I think that's fair.
Unless this is a prepare action and would grant advantage against the dragon in the later.
Oh yeah. No, that's a good point. Would you like to roll?
Yeah.
For the potential advantage? Okay. Yeah. So, do you have the right items to look at this thing?
Yes. I don't think tracking really takes any specific items.
I agree.
Okay.
Are you free of interference?
Yes. Yeah. This is a sterile environment.
And then what is your question?
Am I aided by my pet? And I would like to, if I find any sort of like liquid or like blood that I don't recognize, have my pet smell it.
Okay.
And then later that aid can be like him, like being able to hone in on stuff maybe.
Yeah. Okay, so go ahead and roll 2d6.
Okay. I got 7 on the die.
Okay. And then plus 1 for each yes. So you'll add 1 because yes, your bear is assisting you.
Mm-hmm. I have all the
yes,
equipment.
you have the right
need.
items because you don't need any. And yes, you're sorry. You'll add 3.
Okay. So 10 total.
Awesome. Okay, with a 10 plus, you do the effect. So you're looking at these wounds and you're not noticing anything really unique about them. Not anything like you were describing, like no acid, no like strange magic. You know, it just seems like a standard
Fire
really
breathing.
Bad fire burn. And your bear is kind of like sniffing around as close as he can without getting too close to these burn victims. And you notice that he's kind of stuck sniffing in one spot. And on the right shoulder of one of these scouts, you notice that there is kind of like a green sparkly powder.
Okay.
The best way I can describe it is, have you ever seen what it looks like when you touch a butterfly's wings?
Yeah.
And how it like kind of comes off?
No.
It's pretty crazy. Don't ever touch butterfly wings. It really hurts them. But when you do, there's kind of this like iridescent
Oh,
powder
that's crazy.
that comes off, and it is basically their little wing skin getting damaged. Yeah, but that's kind of what you're seeing on is like this green smear.
Okay. I would like to like touch it and like feel the consistency with my fingers. Again, trying to determine if it is like magical in any way or chemical in any way.
It does seem a bit magical to you.
Okay. That's about it. Unless we want to like question.
I feel
they're
bad
asleep, right?
asking them.
They
anything.
look pretty out of it. I'm sure you
Okay.
could maybe try and talk to them, but if you have more info than, or I guess the info that you wanted and you're fine with that, then
Okay.
you are free to go. But you can question them if you want.
Sir Knight, would you like to ask any questions?
I will march up, put a hand on their shoulder, or like one of their shoulders, gently jostle them to see if they will like stir to being awake, but I'm not gonna like try that hard. I will remove my hand, turn back to green, and then just nod and start marching out.
Not feeling very talkative today. All right. Well.
Okay. You guys have your equipment now, and you're able to take a carriage from the castle past a few of the various villages and to the edge of the forest. Now, your forest, you guys have all grown up near. You all know it to be a pretty easygoing place. People tend to kind of stay clear of it just because it's not as what is the word, populated. Like it's just not as like man-made as the villages and the keep area itself. So people don't really like hang out in the forest, but nobody's ever really been scared of it. This is something that's very new. It's a really beautiful forest, lots of really pretty trees. It's very lush. As you're walking through, there's some nice like paths that are kind of, I wouldn't say they're well worn, right? Because again, people don't come in and out of the forest all that much.
Like hunting
trails.
trails.
Exactly. Kind of like little hunting trails, little deer trails here and there. And again, like it's not like this like foreboding place. It's pretty pleasant. Besides the occasional
Roar of a dragon.
of a dragon that you can kind of faintly hear in the distance. But the birds seem to be chirping. The animals seem to be scared of you, but not really of this noise. It seems pretty normal from the last time you guys were here, other than the roar.
Sir Knight then puts a hand on Green and gestures out in front of him.
Oh, yes, I'll lead the way, I guess. And we head towards the sound of the dragon.
Okay. You guys walk for a while. There's nothing too crazy happening. It's kind of peaceful, actually. It's nice to be out in nature. But there is kind of this impending stress the more you walk into the forest of like remembering what those scouts looked like, remembering how odd the king was acting with
just how scared he seemed to be, even up in this ivory tower, right? And it gets to be a little bit weird how you haven't really seen anybody else show up yet. There was a decent group of you at the king's castle, but you haven't really seen anyone else come. Yeah, you haven't run into anybody. But you just keep walking.
My bear
Mm-hmm.
kind of like is off the path, and then you see it get like alerted, and then it jumps into some bushes, and it comes out, and its face is covered in strawberries.
Ooh.
It's just cute.
Yeah.
Are you guys aware right away that they are strawberries?
No.
Or
I've never seen this bear in my life. I don't know what eats strawberries.
Yeah. This is Red. He loves strawberries.
Oh. I had a dog that loved strawberries.
Really?
Her name was Sierra.
Okay.
Real lore.
It's a deep cut.
So you watch this bear eat a bunch of strawberries. It is now completely stained from its mouth to kind of like its shoulder area from just aggressively eating these
Impressive.
berries.
Yeah.
I'll reach into my pouch and then pull out a handkerchief and hand it to you.
Oh, thank you.
I'm sure if we come by a stream or something.
I'll wipe it off. It doesn't do much, but your handkerchief is
Ruined.
maybe, yeah, possibly unusable in the future. Thank you. And I hand it back.
I'll just close your hand over it.
Okay. And I'm gonna stick it in my pouch because
Free handkerchief.
free handkerchiefs. Yeah, like I'm.
Now you don't have to ask your mom to make another one, you know?
And then I'll just pull out another one from
Did-
my bag and try and clean off my gauntlet a little bit.
Does the handkerchief have like your monogram on it? Does it say
does,
like
and-
Sir Knight?
It has the little human form, but instead of like a bald man, it's a long-haired woman, still though with a hand over her mouth,
Okay.
and just two of the corners, and then it's just kind of like that, the gold like weird design
Like
border.
a filigree type.
Ooh, okay. And now it is covered in berry juice and dirt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
naturally.
I will say, I think earlier I was like, oh, you guys don't go into the forest very often. You do,
Yeah.
Joseph.
Oh, definitely.
Like, I
Fair.
just
You ranger.
forgot
That
that,
makes
like, that's
sense.
where rangers live,
I'd be ranging.
kind of.
This might be like a forest outside of my normal like rounds. If
Of course.
You
I mean,
need
this
that?
is Brock Ole Forest.
oh yes,
He's
And
been
the-
waiting.
this is the land of Brock.
Okay. Amazing. Okay. So yeah, like it's still familiar enough to you though. It's still a forest. So I just don't want you to be like, I've never been here before.
It's
I know
your
nothing.
favorite terrain.
Yeah. But as this strawberry debacle goes on, you kind of look around and realize it's getting very. You're feeling like kind of claustrophobic.
Oh. Is the brush just like more dense?
Yeah, it kind of seems like it. But the more you look at it, you realize the brush is enclosing in on you. What used to be maybe a couple yards away is now very, very near. If you kind of reach your hands out, you can now all of a sudden touch trees and hedges that you couldn't touch before. And this strawberry patch that Red has just jumped into and then subsequently left is now right behind Red, even though he was a little bit away from it.
Sir Knight will pull out his sword from his sheath, and then will like clang it lightly against his shield, alerting the party.
Okay.
Guess what? I'm gonna start sort of like hacking at, like trying to make sure there's a clear path ahead of us with my axe.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead. I would say, do you want this to be an act or a damage? I would say, let's say it's an act.
Okay, I rolled 2.
Yep, 2d6. And then your questions are, do you have the right items?
Yes.
Do you have the advantage? I would say probably, because you're using an axe, right? So trees and axes don't usually
Yeah,
go
that's true.
get
There's
along.
a clear winner.
Yeah. And then what is your personal question?
Are you relying on brute strength?
Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, to fuck up some trees with an axe, yeah, it takes a decent amount of strength.
Yeah. Okay.
I say that like I've chopped down a tree. I have not.
It does
Do you
take
want to?
Sure, yeah.
Cool.
it does take a decent amount of strength. What did you roll again?
I rolled a 7 initially.
A 7 initially? Cool. So then you get a +1 for each of your yeses, which is 3. So you get a 10.
10, okay.
Which means that you do the effect.
Sweet.
And you overcome the threat. But you do notice that the dragon roars are getting a little louder at this point. It does take a minute before you kind of clear through this thick brush that has enclosed itself on you. But you're able to kind of hack your way through. And you've essentially made like this little tunnel between the bushes that all of you are kind of able to walk through and crouch around. And you get to the other side, and the forest is normal again. Nothing too crazy. You look behind you, and everything's back to normal. The bush is gone.
Wow.
Weird. That's stressful.
You
I
seen
don't
anything
like it.
like that before, Sir Knight?
Just he sheathes his sword and then gives an over-exaggerated shrug.
Samesies. All right.
By the way, I'm loving this. The silence thing.
In my headcanon, Green hasn't realized that you've taken a vow of silence. He just,
Neither have I. I just think he's a real quiet guy.
yeah.
I love it. Yeah.
It do be like that, though, sometimes when you're, like, put on a team and, like, you don't know each other really, and
Like,
there's just, like, someone who's just, like,
just chilling.
just chilling.
And you're just like, hey, and they're just like,
The head
head
nod.
nod.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was Ivan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout
Shout
out
out.
to
Very
Ivan.
observant.
Shout out to the homie.
Yeah, he's the best.
Like when I was in Mathletes, full 2 days, I think I saw this person, and only on the end of the second day did I realize that they just didn't have fingers on one hand. I was like, oh, okay. Or
Yeah.
it was, I don't know. It was just something I didn't notice, and I was like, I'm not. That's when I realized I'm not observant.
Oh, no.
It's like, oh shit, that's like. I talked to them multiple times.
Sometimes that happens with your teammates, though. You're just like, you overlook something, and then someone's like, dude.
Really, yeah,
He's taken a
I think
vow
they're
of
just-
silence.
And
How
you're
did
like,
you not know?
Oh, that makes sense. Like, I found out one of my coworkers is from Ohio, and I was like,
That
oh,
makes sense.
that makes sense.
It makes sense.
Does it?
Hey,
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with Ohio.
There's nothing in Ohio.
Everything's Ohio.
Is there anything that you guys are doing as you're going through this part of the forest now that you've kind of had this weird...
Just paying close attention to whether the forest seems to be moving. Mm-hmm. Just trying to be more vigilant in that regard.
Yeah.
But
so far you haven't seen anything additional, but it's good to be on your guard for sure.
Sir Knight is counting the time between the roars.
Ooh.
Okay.
And then at a certain point, like, he might turn to one of you and then just give, like, hold up both hands with his fingers all splayed out and then, like, try and
close.
and
Your hands are very clean, Sir Knight. I am very impressed.
One finger raised, and then he just shakes his head and then just...
He's thinking.
one word?
One word.
Or one syllable?
Okay.
I am speaking to Red, but it's kind of unintelligible. Oh, you're such a good boy. Oh, you're best little one.
Can I pet Red?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's sticky.
Well, I don't. I just like kind of pat its back. I'm not gonna just like. Ooh.
Oh, well,
Let me
it's
pet
a little
the strawberry.
dirty.
Okay, I mean, I'd rather it be my hands get dirty than sticky
That's fair.
because I can just.
But yeah, he rolls around in whatever he finds. So.
Oh,
But,
maybe I shouldn't.
But you can pet part of the dirty part instead of the sticky part.
I'll just
That's
pat
normal.
him.
Yeah.
Is there anything the two of you are talking about? It's okay if not. I just want to make sure that you guys are able to role play if you'd like to.
So, Charlotte,
Green.
You-
Forgot your name.
I had to look it up too. Have you ever traveled far from Celery before?
Yeah. I have visited a few other villages, just for some like fighting competitions. You know. There's Zucchini. Have you heard of that? It's just north of here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The most famous zoo in all of Brock.
Yes. That's where I got 5th place. You get a ribbon, but
Oh.
it's a pretty big pool, like competition pool up there. So, and my axe wasn't that sharp. I forgot to sharpen my axe.
Ooh.
Also, it was raining and my knee injury was acting up. But under the right conditions, I'm sure I could have taken first.
I totally understand that. I mean, the king
too.
did say that you were the best fighter in all the land.
Yeah, and I really appreciate that he recognizes that. The other 4 have died since then, though. So, on quests, I've heard. So I think that might be part of it.
Were any of them headed towards this dragon?
I believe, yeah, the first and the 4th.
Okay, well.
The other 2, it was just like freak accidents.
You're looking kind of shifty there,
No,
Charlotte.
wait, yeah, that does sound sketchy. No, it wasn't supposed to sound sketchy.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna turn to Sir Knight. Do you trust her?
I will glance back and then look back at you and then mime my thumb over my neck.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Do I see that?
I think
You hiding
It's
that?
loud. The armor clanks every time I move. So
just across all the filigree. Ting, 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 ting.
It's kind of like a little scratch noise to it too. It's like
Oh no.
It just makes me think, like, I know that he took a vow of silence. He's not deaf, but it makes me think of someone talking about how their deaf sister didn't know that when they were playing hide and seek, they could hear her giggling.
oh no, that's really cute.
But I mean, it's to be expected, though. I mean, the fighters in this area are quite brutal. I appreciate that about you.
Oh, is that what you appreciates about me?
Yes, that is what I appreciate about you.
You guys are kind of chatting, trying to keep the mood a little light. And as you keep walking, the dragon keeps getting louder and louder. You happen upon this area where there's a beautiful waterfall that's kind of just coming. It's a small one. It's just kind of coming off of a little rock face. And this waterfall falls down into a small pool around it. But then you notice that there are 4 other pools surrounding this waterfall. And each of them seem a little bit different.
Are any of them green?
There is one that is green.
Does it look anything like the powder that I found on the scout?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
It does look a little bit like that. Although it is liquid instead of like powdery. But it's a green kind of iridescent liquid.
Okay.
Here, let me draw it on the map for you guys real quick so you can kind of visualize what I'm doing.
Sounds good.
So you see these 4 pools, and each of them look a little bit different. You have the big pool that the waterfall is going into. To the left of it, there is another water-like pool that seems to be kind of bubbling a little bit. Just below that, kind of closer to where you guys are at, is a green pool with iridescent, kind of sparkly bits going through it, which is similar in color to what you saw, but again, it is that liquid, so it's not powdery. Next to that is another bluish water-like pool. And at the distance that you're at currently, you can see some like gold and silver glinting coming from the bottom of it. And then towards the right of the waterfall is a pool full of seemingly reddish liquid.
This looks like a paw print, and it just makes me think of Blue's Clues. Found our first paw print. That's our first clue.
Found our first clue.
Put it in the notebook.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not supposed to look like a paw print, but
I see it though.
yeah, now I can't unsee it.
Okay. So with this green pool, because that's the one that's most interesting to me. Mm-hmm. I think I'm gonna get my hunting knife out and like test the water a little bit. Like I don't want to like jump right in, but I want to like test it with my knife, and then if nothing looks too acidy or like dangerous like that, I'm gonna touch the water.
Okay. So you go in and you kind of swirl your knife a little bit, and as you pull your knife out to see what if any effects are happening, you pull out your knife and it is glowing green.
Okay.
Not like a Fallout green, like a dark, like glowy green, you know?
Okay.
Spooky.
Can I go up to the one with like gold and silver sparkles? Oh, was that the one you were wanting?
Yeah, but I can check out
You
the
can
red
go.
one.
You can go together too.
Yeah, I'll go with you.
Okay.
The handkerchief that I used to clean off my gauntlet, I would like to just gingerly put it a little bit into the water and pull it out and see what happens.
It seems to kind of clean your. I guess maybe not clean, but it like wets your handkerchief a little bit, just like water would, and then you can kind of see that a little bit of the like berry stuff kind of coming off a little bit. It's not like you rubbed it in the water, so it's not really going to clean, but
So this isn't the one with the berry stuff because he has two handkerchiefs.
Well, no,
No,
you-
he got a little bit
I-
on him.
Oh, you still got some.
remember
on
From
I
when
closed
you
your
closed your
hand,
hand.
and then I used a handkerchief to wipe off
Gotcha.
that.
Oh, okay. But I want to ask, does it also like discolor the symbols
Oh,
and
yeah.
like stuff that is sewn into there? Is it like a bleach type deal?
no.
Okay.
It seems
Does it look
very similar to water.
like the glinty bits that are on the bottom?
It does look like they're on the bottom. And
How
as you're
deep
peering,
does it look? Oh,
good
sorry.
question. No,
I
no, no,
listened
you're
to you.
okay. As you're peering into the pool, you see that it seems like it's probably about, like 6 to 7-ish feet of a pool. But down at the bottom of this water is a bunch of different gold and silver coins.
Oh,
And that's what's kind of been producing that glintiness.
I'm now
I
gonna
have a coin.
I'm gonna meet you guys and be like, oh, you find a wishing well or something?
I want to toss a coin in there
Okay.
and make a wish,
It
but
plops.
I won't tell you what it is.
I mean, I think you have to tell God what it is.
Yeah,
I'll
but
cover
you
my
two
ears.
are nosy. He put his hands over the headphones. I don't know what my wish is yet, so I'll tell God soon.
Okay.
I'll text God.
Thank you. You throw the coin in, you hear it plop, and then it slowly sinks down to the bottom of the pool.
I'd like to go over to the red pool
Okay.
and do the same handkerchief test.
Yeah, it's kind of reddish stained now, but it's not like it's not how do I describe this? It's not as watery as the water was. But it is definitely not as thick as blood would be.
Okay.
But it's a little bit in between. And as you pull it out, you can kind of see that this red pool is also a little bit iridescent. But it's not, it's just slightly. It's not as sparkly as that green pool was. It's just kind of, it's just not like a, just straight red. It's got a little something to it.
Cool. And then I would like to go to the final pool. This one's bubbling, you said?
It is bubbling.
Is there any steam?
No.
Okay. I would like to do the same thing with like the tip of my hunting knife.
Okay.
Swirl it around a little bit.
Okay.
Does anything happen?
You pull it out and you notice that you are missing the tip of your dagger.
Oh no. And what is inside of this pool?
Down at the bottom, you can see that there is a gold ring that's sitting down at the bottom.
Are these all about 6 feet?
Yeah, they're all pretty deep.
I'm gonna try and put a stick in this pool next, just like something from the forest.
Okay.
Does that burn away as well?
It does.
I I don't know if we're getting this ring, guys.
Maybe we dip things in other stuff and then they can go in there.
Okay. Do we want to try that?
Sure.
Here is a stick.
Okay, I dip it in the green stuff and then I dip it in there.
Same thing.
All right. You try the red.
I'll get a branch, dip it in the red, and then dip it in the bubbly.
You notice that it takes a little bit longer before it disintegrates, but it still gets
All right. Someone
gets good.
jump in the red and then jump in there, grab the ring. Jump it.
Be my guest.
Sir Knight just nods a lot. Like,
Yeah, go ahead. All right. Charlotte.
What about... I don't know. I guess we don't really need to get the ring. But my heart wants to get the ring.
I know, it's shiny.
But I'm worried that we're focusing on something we don't need to focus on.
can I get another branch? And then dip it in the red, and then dip it in the green, and then dip it in the pool. I'm going to try every combination.
Let's try dipping it in everything and then that pool.
Okay. So you dipped it in the red, then you dipped it in the green. You pull the stick out. Your stick was like a yellowish glow when you pulled it out. I forgot to tell you that.
Oh, yes. Green glows.
Your red, then green, produced a yellow glow to your stick as well. And then you dip it in the pool. Same thing as before with the red. A little bit slower, but
Maybe the coins. That pool.
I will try and dip a stick into the coin pool
okay.
and then into the bubbling pool
It disintegrates
immediately.
just as quick
Okay.
as the very first stick did.
Can I go to the big pool right here?
Yeah.
Is there anything interesting about it?
What do you want to know?
Can I see in there, like, how deep is it? Is there anything at the bottom of this thing? Does it have a certain odor?
It seems to be about 6 or 7 feet deep, just like the other pools. It's a little harder to see through because of the waterfall crashing into it. There's a little bit of that like mist going on. But it smells like water
I'm going to touch the water
with your hand.
with my pinky.
Okay. It's water.
Sick. Let's put a stick in that water and then put it in the bubbly stuff.
Then in the bubbly stuff.
Does it just disintegrate immediately?
Just disintegrates immediately.
Okay, I would like to get a 6-foot long stick.
Okay.
I would like to put it in the red stuff.
Okay.
I would like to try and
Really let it
Fish the
marinate in
ring
the
out.
red stuff. We can get several sticks and then keep like picking it up as it goes, as they disintegrate.
that's what we're
Now
doing.
we're thinking. Now we're thinking.
Okay. You know what?
Or if God feels like we're dumb, there's no more sticks in this forest.
No, I think you guys should try it. I'm gonna make you guys do an act roll though,
Okay.
to see if your constant stick maneuver
I'm gonna-
works.
I'm gonna go grab some sticks. I'm gonna grab some like thick stick, like with a hooky end.
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of
Yeah.
those.
Okay. So, do you have the right items? I'm gonna say
Giant
you got
axe.
some.
I hope so. Oh yeah.
Axes are great
Sticks.
for chopping
Oh yeah.
sticks.
She can harvest some of the best sticks
Oh, okay.
in this entire forest.
Fifth best.
Sticks.
First now, she just cut all those ones down. I think I know what happened to the other contestants.
She's really good.
Do you have the advantage? I'm gonna say no. You do not have the advantage. A 6 to 7-ish foot deep pool, and sticks and knowing that it disintegrates things, I feel like that doesn't feel advantagey to me for
I
you.
agree.
We weave a basket
Okay.
and dip it in the red,
Okay.
and that's how we get it. We have a basket and we have a hook stick, and then we just pop it in the basket and pull the basket up real quick.
Okay. How about we build a submarine?
Okay.
It disintegrates immediately. Let's do this.
Are you using your brute strength? Is that your question?
Yeah, that is my question.
Okay. If you can argue it, I'll probably give it to you, but I don't know if
I was
brute
only
strength
thinking
counts.
for finding thick sticks. That's not really brute strength, though. Because initially I forgot I had an axe, so I was going to say, like, I'm just cracking the sticks off of the thing, but I have an axe.
I'm less worried about you finding the sticks and more worried about you
Being quicks.
getting the ring that you're trying to get. That portion.
Yeah.
Because I agree. I think you can get all the sticks you want with your axe.
Before I go on this venture, I am going to, like, dip my pinky in the red pool. See if it hurts me at all.
Doesn't seem to hurt you.
Sick. I'll just dip my hand in there. So,
Okay.
like, up to here. So I don't want to... So I can get... Sort of, like, dip my arm in the bubbly pool for, like, a moment.
Okay.
To get more reach.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I? Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, can we assist in any way? Give her another +1.
I was just thinking about trying one other thing before
Oh.
we start going nuts. Can I pull out a gold coin and just flick it into the bubbly pool?
Yeah,
Does it disintegrate?
it does.
What?
Weird.
Does the
Okay.
ring look gold? Mm-hmm. Oh no. Guys. We really need that ring. Let's go.
Perfect. Just put your sword in there. Is
Nah,
it a
I'm
long
good.
sword?
Nah, I'm good.
How long?
Lonk.
Okay, I rolled a 6 initially.
Okay.
I have the items.
So you rolled a 7. Mm-hmm. So a 7 means that you do the effect
Yeah.
and you face a consequence.
Yeah.
So you are able to catch this ring with your sticks and kind of try and maneuver it out.
With the power of friendship.
Yeah, with the
You
power
guys
of
aren't
friendship.
doing anything, though.
Oh, I thought we were like all had a stick, like
Oh, yeah.
trying to help.
Oh, was that your plan?
I thought that we were doing,
Yeah.
like, to kind of, like, catch it as it, like,
Yeah.
our sticks disintegrate.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. I will say that yeah, that's how it works. Unfortunately, that would still only get you to a 9, so it would be
Okay.
still
Same.
facing a consequence. But,
Okay.
yeah, so you guys kind of maneuver your sticks as you get this ring to the top of the pool. It vanishes,
What have we done?
What?
and you see it back down at the bottom of the pool.
Oh,
I'm gonna start digging a trench.
Hold, please. The consequence is that your hand, when you put it into the water, it is a little bit burned now.
Oh, no.
Take 1 harm.
I can tell I'm overthinking this here.
I'm
I kind of want to empty out this pool, like dig a trench, so that
Oh, do like a siphon situation?
I'm sorry. Okay. So for this same bubbly pool,
yeah, I really want this ring, and it has now evaded me.
Let's put buckets
Okay.
of the red stuff in there.
Okay, all right.
All right, let's listen to God.
I think you guys need to think about the properties. I think you need to really think about the properties of this
Okay.
pool. And think about the new information you've been given.
It bubbles.
Okay.
The ring
It
vanishes.
when you take it out of the water.
Maybe it's just to mess people up. But then why don't you just, the other coins in the other pool?
Have you tried to grab those other coins, though?
Can we go take those coins?
I don't know. Can you?
Okay. I'm going to go take one of those coins.
Okay. Remember that it's like 6 or 7 feet deep. So you'd have to like...
I cannonball.
Oh, okay.
Okay. As you cannonball into the pool with the coins,
Okay.
the two of you notice that there is some sort of like the water splashes and kind of looks like almost like watery blood kind of. It's still water, but it's kind of pooling like blood when you've been in a fight and you've seen like you've like slashed somebody and it like kind of sprays. It gives that same sort of effect.
Oof.
You cannonball into this pool. You hit the bottom of it, and you feel these coins. Yeah, you're able to scoop them up. But as this is happening, you also notice that the water is kind of like swirling around you a little bit. And you two see, you're kind of in the pool, so it's not as easy to see.
Okay.
But you two see this water-like creature kind of not torpedo, but like tornado itself up.
Huh.
And it's a little water creature. And
Oh, hey, little guy.
there's not an initiative type of thing in this particular game, but this would be the point where if we were playing a different game, I would say roll for initiative. This little water guy does not like you.
My bear doesn't like him.
Okay.
Put the coins back. I don't know if he can hear me because he's underwater.
Am I completely underwater? Like, is the pool all this water
Oh yeah, how tall are you?
genie type thing, or is it some water still down in there? You know what I mean?
There's a little water down there, but most of it is this water genie.
Okay, so I can probably hear you then. But it's a lot of gold. You sure?
Yeah, and that's a lot of creature, so...
And I then realize that there's a creature and drop it.
Okay.
And start scurrying my way out of
yeah,
this
and
hole.
I'll help you with my not burnt hand.
Okay.
Get up.
Thank you.
And I would like to wave at the creature and then point to the different pools and then just a big exaggerated shrug.
The creature doesn't seem like it's really like talkative, which I guess you can kind of relate to. But it just kind of looks angrily at you.
I'm sorry I sat on you.
No effect.
Okay. I'm not going to be the first one. Is it going to swing at us, or is it just slithering back into its pool now?
I think it's kind of just seeing what you guys are going to do next.
I'm gonna... Oh.
Sorry. I mean, I'm at night. I have money. I'll pull out another gold coin, set it in my gauntlet, and then just kind of like hand it over.
He kind of swipes it into his little pool.
And then I'll give a big exaggerated 2 thumbs up.
And then he kind of looks at you guys and kind of gets a little, like, postures a little bit, gets a little menacing, but then also kind of, like, slightly nods and starts to sink back down.
No, I
you
want
have
to
a hand?
point to the bubble. I want to be like, what's up with this? What's up with the ring? I know he probably can't talk to us, but
Yeah, he just kind of is.
he does his big exaggerated shrug.
Yeah. He's not
Okay.
really like, he's sentient, but he's not like intelligent. If that makes sense, he's not going to really be able to chat with you.
Was it the red one that cleaned things, or did it leave things stained?
It was like a little bit stained, viscous. It was this one, the one that the creature's in, that cleaned it.
Okay.
Was there anything like when the green shimmery stuff? Did you let it dry down on anything? Did it look like that powder?
Ooh, yeah.
When it dried down?
I am gonna let it like dry on my blade as much as possible.
It stays glowy.
Okay.
It's been glowy this whole time.
And does it, now that it's dry, does it look like the stuff that was on that adventure?
Yeah. It
Okay.
does.
I think we're going the right way, at least.
I would like to point out real quick that the only one that you decided to smell was the waterfall. It might be helpful to
Oh,
ask about the other ones.
Yeah, my bear has been sniffing this green
Again,
one.
society holding
He's
us back.
really interested in it.
The green one is a little, like, sweet smelling.
Oh, okay. That's nice.
How does the red one smell?
This is a very familiar smell to you now that you've taken a second. It smells like a health potion.
Oh.
You've had plenty in your day.
Okay. I kind of like jump up in the air. I kind of like fist bump into the air, and then I start exaggeratedly waving over Charlotte,
okay. What?
and I will grab your arm and I will dunk it in there and pull it out.
Are you okay with this?
I'm gonna resist at first, but like I put my hand in there before and it was fine. So
You notice that your burn starts to go away. Your hand is more of like a light pinkish hue rather than like deep dark red. I just put my hand on the stove. And all of the like acidic bubbliness that you were seeing on your arm is now gone. And you heal 1 harm.
okay. What do the bubbly ones smell like?
There's not much of a smell to that bubbly one.
Well, we have a dragon to kill. Maybe we bottle up some of this health potion stuff and be on our way.
I will nod.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a way for us to get that ring.
Yeah, I don't think there is.
And you said the green one.
Well,
has
can I
a
jump in the big pool of just water and see if there's anything leading to the other pools? Like
Yeah.
a tunnel or something?
Yeah. Actually, go ahead and roll me a. Roll me a prepare.
I got 10.
Nice.
Nice. The questions for this one are: do you have the right items? I mean, you're jumping in. I would say yes.
My body. I do.
Are you free of interference?
Nobody stopped me.
Yeah, I would say yeah. And then, are you using brute strength?
No.
No. So that's going to be a total of 12. You go down there and you notice that this pool of water is not connected to any of the other ones. What you do see, though, is behind this waterfall, there are some runes, it looks like. And each of the runes are positioned similarly to where the pools are, just on the opposite side of this waterfall.
We're so dumb. We act like we've never played a video game before.
I know, right? You walk through every waterfall.
Yeah. Even if it's a game where there's nothing behind waterfalls, you check behind the waterfall.
Always.
Oh
The
my
amount
god.
of times that I've tried checking behind waterfalls in some games and nothing's
Yeah,
there.
you just hit a rock wall. Like,
Looking at you, Skyrim.
worth it. Dude, Ark. I ran into
Like, it's
so many
toxic
waterfalls.
if you're a video game developer and you make waterfalls and there's nothing behind any of them. That's toxic.
Almost as toxic as this water.
But you're saying there's runes back here. Are there anything?
Does it look like anything can be moved, or like, are they carved in?
They're carved in, and each of the carvings has a similar color to the pool. And so, like, as you're looking at it, even though you're not really like a magic specialist, you would kind of assume that this one is for the bubbly pool, this one's for the green one, this one's for
Wow. Hey, look at this. Someone smarter than me.
Can I try going up to these runes and see if I can discern them? I do have, a magic book, but I'm not going to open it, but I'm obviously familiar with some magic.
With some
Yeah.
magic. Oh, okay.
you're looking at them and you notice that based off of your experience with magic, there's a certain style of how you write magic where essentially magic isn't either good or bad. It's how you write it and it's how you use it, right? So when a spell is benevolent, it's written in a...
Comic Sans.
No. That's a chaotic spell. It's written in more of like a flourishy, kind of like fancy font, right?
Papyrus.
Definitely not papyrus. Looking at you, Avatar.
What's your problem, Avatar?
But then chaotic spells are Comic Sansy. And then malicious spells are a little bit more jagged. And it might be the same exact symbol, but it's how it's written. So looking behind this, you see that two of the runes in particular are written to be a little bit more jagged, a little bit more malicious. The one that you assume is correlated with the health pool, because it's also red, is very flourishy. And then that green one is Comic Sansy.
Oh, okay. Here's what I would like to do.
Okay.
I would like to use dungeon gear
Okay.
to get a hammer and chisel.
Okay.
And I would like to rewrite these to be a little bit more elegant.
Okay.
For
Okay.
both of the malicious ones.
Okay. Ooh. Okay. I'm gonna have you. No, I'm not gonna have you roll because I think this is cool, and I also think that, like, given all the time in the world, you'd be able to do this.
I'll just strike through like 30 times until I finally get it right.
Yeah. It's you know that it's a little bit dangerous to be changing runes, because it's already kind of encoded with somebody's magic force, right? But knowing how detrimental spells can be, you have kind of practiced this. I mean, you've never done it with chiseled runes before, but you have done it with writing. And so you're able to kind of meticulously fix these runes. And as you do so and you come away from the waterfall to kind of check your work, you notice that the acidic pool is still bubbling, but it seems like it's a little bit more of like a happy bubble. And you can see some steam coming off of it.
It's more of a burble.
Yeah. But on top of that, you also notice that the ring is gone.
Oh.
The pool where the water creature was, you notice that it is pretty calm looking, like it was before he woke up. Mm-hmm. But in the bottom of the pool, instead of coins, there are fishes. And they're all just kind of living their best life.
I'd like to go over to the fish pond now.
Okay.
And then can I, like, knock on the surface of the water?
Yeah. You knock on the surface and you kind of scare the fish and they scatter away.
Doesn't seem like there's a water elemental there anymore, though.
It doesn't.
Damn. I'll look over to all of you, scratch the top of my helmet, and then say, shrug once again, point in the direction of roars.
Yeah.
Definitely fill up on the health potion, though.
Yes, I would like to use some dungeon gear
Okay.
to take health potions as samples.
Okay.
Can I do like one for each of us with one dungeon gear? Or
Yeah,
it's going to cost more than that?
No, I'll say that like you grabbed like a set of vials.
Okay, yeah. I hand them out.
And then as you guys are using this dungeon gear, please write down what that is just in case it comes in handy later. But then you will no longer be able to switch it to be something else.
Cool. Okay.
Okay.
Ready to go?
You ready to go?
Yes.
Not gonna lie, this one stumped me quite a bit.
I'm excited to talk about it later. You guys go ahead and move towards the sound of the dragon that's growing ever louder. And, you walk away pretty confused.
But with some health potions.
But with some health potions.
Yeah.
So, really, was it all a loss? I would say no.
I see this as an absolute win.
Is there anything that you guys want to talk about on your journey to this dragon? Or, I'll kind of paint the picture a little bit more, right? So you've passed this waterfall, and I talked about how there was like a small rock formation, which is what it was cascading off of. You kind of go around the waterfall toward like staying on the normal forest path that you've been kind of keeping to this whole time. And you notice as you're going around the waterfall that the scenery of the forest kind of changes, and it's becoming a little less foresty and a little more mountainous. And so this small little waterfall was kind of the prelude into a larger rock formation. And in the distance, you can see what seems to be a pretty large cave. But it's pretty far away still. So you've also noticed that as you've kind of left the mist of this waterfall, that the further you walk into this rocky portion, like the hotter it's getting. And it's not like an immediate heat. It's just like you keep walking and slowly you're like, man, whew, this armor is kind of sticking to me now, you know?
I mime like fanning my face.
Is it getting dark yet?
It's starting to get a little dark. It's definitely not nighttime yet, but I would say it's getting later on in the day. Not quite sunset yet, but we're getting close to it.
How good would a ring race eyesight be? I'm just kidding.
It would still not work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
The
good.
Black Riders would still not be able to find
That's
you.
how we need to just determine the time of day.
Mm-hmm.
There's a chart of what they'd be able to see.
They could smell you for sure, but
Okay. So since you said it's starting to get dark, like it's dusk-ish?
No.
No, she did not
It's
say that at all.
no. So it's getting later in the day, but it's not quite sunset yet.
Okay,
so
not
it's
quite.
like
Afternoon?
think about you just got out of work
Okay, all right.
and
The shadows are getting a little bit longer,
yes.
but it's not.
Yeah, it's still kind of toasty outside though. It's not quite.
Okay.
Do you guys just keep going towards the cave?
Yeah. Let's do it.
What we came here to do, yeah.
Okay. You press on and you get to the mouth of the cave, and at this point it is very, very hot and kind of like a little bit humid almost. And as you hear the roars, you notice this influx of like steam almost pushing out of the cave.
Oh,
I'd like to turn to my compatriots and put both of my hands to like my arms like I'm crossing them, and then just like mime like I'm shivering, and then mime again because I don't make any noise. Just a boisterous chuckle, like belly out, lean
Yeah.
back, like ha ha ha.
Oh, yeah. The Joker here's cold. Yeah, I think we start
just head in, I guess.
Yeah, kinda-
I don't know what else to
kind
do.
of sneaky like. Are we?
Not with this guy. You can go ahead if you want, but I have heavy armor on.
Oh yeah,
As
he's
well.
he's pretty loud too. Yeah. Just yap yap yap. And
And I'll, in
can't
tune,
shut
I'll
this
just
guy
like
up.
stomp, 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 and it's just chainmail clanging around.
okay. Well, I would like to go ahead then, and kind of scout out this area in front of us.
Okay.
Okay.
As I get into the cave, I would like to check: is my hunting blade still glowing?
It is still glowing.
Okay, with it in its sheath, is it going to give away my position?
No.
Okay. It is going to stay in its sheath. And I'm going to go a little bit deeper into the cave. Probably like just out of eyesight, but not out of yelling distance from them.
Okay.
Do I see anything at this point?
It's pretty dark in here. You don't see a whole ton, but what you do see is to the right of your, of like the immediate entrance. There's kind of like a further tunnel, and you do see light emanating from deep that way.
Okay. I'm going to like hand signal that you guys can come in.
I thought we can't see you.
Oh yeah, it is kind of dark.
I think you're not so far in that they couldn't
Okay.
see you, but it
Okay.
is
If
a
anything,
lot darker than outside of the cave.
If anything,
Okay.
if you can't see any threats nearby, you can just use the knife to like.
To do the like airplane
Yeah.
thing.
Air traffic control. Yeah.
Cool. So we get closer to it, and then I would like to sneak again towards the glowing area.
Okay. You come to the like edge of kind of like a platform, and you're able to low crawl your way to the edge. to actually like peer over it.
My bear is low crawling next to me.
Cute. And you see the glowing that you saw previously, but it's not just glowing. It's like an actual lit cavernous space. And towards the back of this cavernous space, you see a mountain of gold. And on top of it, you see a very large green dragon that is curled up, kind of coiled across the gold. And this is what you've been hearing this whole time.
It was just snoring?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. The dragon is not curled up sleeping. It is curled up protecting.
Okay.
And at first, you would seem to think that it's probably the gold. You've heard legends of dragons being hoarders and really protective of said hoard. But you notice that coiled up in its like tail area is a very small little greenish gold dragon. A little baby. And the more you take in, the more you notice that there are quite a few of the people that you saw at the king's castle littered across the floor of this cavern. And that's where you think the roaring has really been coming from, is likely fights.
Them going in onesies and twosies.
Yeah.
Dumb, we're going in threesies.
Idiots.
I'm gonna go back to them and relay this information. So it looks like some of the other people at the King's Court made it here before us. Thankfully, they're all dead.
Not thankfully.
Now we get all the glory when we go back to King Larry.
You've got a point.
What are you laughing about?
I didn't know he had a name.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't like people to say it to his face, but his real name's Larry. He just goes by King. But that is beside the point. How do we want to approach this mother dragon and her cub? Her spawn?
Wormling.
Her wormling?
Yeah, wormling sounds cute. I'm going to look up what a baby dragon is.
Worm.
I will kind of like touch...
It's called a hatchling.
Hatchling.
Oh, yeah.
But I like wormling, too. I think
Yes.
they're interchangeable.
I think wormling is the more like, I don't like dragons term for them. Worm.
I think Pathfinder's like dragon age scale starts at wormling and then it ends up going up. They're like adult or adolescent dragon, adult dragon.
Don't at us if you think we're
dragon,
wrong.
And then
Dragon
I
professional.
think the last one was supposed to be like great worm.
Damien is a dragon professional. I think we're good.
Professional Dragon D's. No.
Got him.
I wish it was literally anyone but me that said that. 'Cause
Rip. Okay.
I would like to just kind of like pat my chest and then mime like with hands up, kind of like in claws, kind of like rushing forward.
You're going to climb the walls of this cavern.
And then I'll point to you two and then kind of make like a circle with my fingers, and then like poking inward.
We're going to flank the dragon.
Okay, so we come from two sides. He climbs the wall of the cavern.
Drops down from the ceiling.
Got it.
Is that
All right.
what you're trying to convey?
Ready, go. Everyone, hands in the middle.
Clank.
Go team.
Yeah.
And we end our huddle.
Okay.
Go.
Describe to me what happens as you guys are executing this flawless plan of yours.
I Naruto ran along the wall.
Are you climbing?
No,
on the
I'm
right
not.
side.
You're not
I was
climbing?
trying to mime like I was going to be like raw as a distraction.
I thought you were climbing.
Yeah, I mean, that's lost
You know
in
what?
translation, you know?
Yeah, but you didn't correct this at all, is the issue.
Well,
You-
Joseph also was like, okay, that's what it is.
All right, we're bulldozing.
I would like to...
Listen, my ranger does not see people very often. He's ready to go.
I'd like to go... Because you said it's like going up to a cliff edge and then like a sunken-in area where the dragon's actually at, right? Mm-hmm. I would like to kind of go up to that edge. Is there a way to like get down and like without...
Yeah, you know, it's kind of weird because you notice that at this ledge, again towards the right, there's a set of stairs.
Okay.
And once you notice these stairs, you're also a little weirded out because there are torches down at the bottom that are helping illuminate the space. Because at first you were so distracted by the dragon
Okay.
that you wouldn't have noticed.
Do you want to take the stairs or should I take the stairs?
I'll take the stairs.
Okay. I'll try and stealthily go the other way.
Okay.
Okay.
What's the other way, though?
I don't know.
It's just
Climbing
a
down?
drop off.
All right, I will climb down.
Maybe we should both take the stairs and then split it from there.
But then we're not flanking, and that was his great idea. He climbs.
Right, but like we didn't know there were stairs when he had this idea.
Okay, good point.
It's fine. He's not even doing what he's supposed to do right now.
What are you doing?
It's not climbing.
I'd like to go to the edge and then pull out my book. And then I would like to, staring at this creature, looking back down at the book, I would like to open the book. The book of the forced vow. And force him to take a vow of silence.
To be silent.
And it's silent.
I just realized that I can use my forearm bracer and then I can like scurry down the wall probably.
Oh yeah, you're like Spider-Man.
That's not at all true.
Like the eight
Insect man.
8-armed Spider-Man.
But yeah, he does only have 2 arms.
And I would like to, because I think it would be, more fun and probably canonically accurate. With my shield arm, I have to keep the book open in order to keep the effect on going.
Ooh, okay.
Just get like a book holder, you know?
yeah.
Like-
Well, I
Used
mean, at
for,
that
like,
point, then I
cookbooks?
might as well be playing.
A lectern, perhaps.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of like priesty like figures, minis in Warhammer that have like this big staff with an open book on there. That would be pretty cool. But I only get 1 bonus item, so
Yeah, no, I think I like that you've got to keep this book open, and I don't think it really matters how you keep this book open, but it has to stay open for the spell to be effective.
Cool.
Just lay it on the ground and put a rock on it.
I might, yeah. But I would like to just kind of like stand there and book open, and then I would like to, with sword and other hand, just start kind of like tapping on the ground. And given that that is not a creature with an intelligence of 3 or higher, that sound does emanate through the cavern.
Okay.
I would like to hide behind my cloak.
Okay.
Is it nighttime yet?
It is not nighttime
You held
yet.
yourself back with that rule too.
I know.
Which is funny. I remember thinking like, we're not even gonna get to nighttime.
Yeah.
That's gonna be the most useless cloak.
It's not nighttime yet, but I will say that it does work when in darkness. So if you can find shadows to stay in,
Be shadow
you will
underneath
be
the
hidden.
stairs.
Shadow under the stairs. Yeah.
Well,
Are they
Harry Potter.
carved in?
They're like carved in
Ah,
stairs.
dang.
Yeah.
Okay.
Something has to cast a shadow here.
I mean, there are torches
so
everywhere,
many
right?
light
So
sources.
like,
Yeah.
there's going to be shadows.
So I was thinking like torches on the wall. The stairs are like also on the wall. Mm-hmm. Behind, you can't see.
Exactly.
Bottom.
Yep.
Yeah, she gets it.
Okay.
She had a visual aid. If you don't get it, that's not my
Like
problem.
at the
Sorry.
landing of the stairs,
Yeah.
there's like shadowed areas that the torches just don't reach.
Yeah.
Okay. I am going to tell Red to stay with Sir Knight. Like, stay right here, buddy. You keep him safe, okay? And then I am going to scurry down the stairs and try and get in the shadows near the dragon.
Okay. Do you want this to be a prepare roll for you to like get the jump on
Yes.
the dragon? Like, is this kind of like a sneak attack type thing you're trying to do? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll me a prepare. Do you have the right items? Yes, you have your cloak. Mm-hmm. Are you free of interference? What are you two doing right now?
It's just walking down the stairs.
Okay. I would say yeah.
Okay.
Okay. And then what is your question?
Am I being aided by my pet? I'm not, because I had him stay up with Sir Knight.
So that will be a +2. Go ahead and roll your dice.
I got a 10 total. 8 on the dice.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool. So you're able to gain that hidden advantage.
Okay.
You're super sneaky getting down the stairs.
I get my bow and arrow ready for whenever this attack starts.
Okay. Do you want to be the first one to...
No, I'm going to wait until... Do you want to make the first swing? Oh, glorious fighter.
Where do the stairs? What do the stairs lead to? Just to the area, the big area where they're.
Yeah, let me draw it for you guys so you can see better like what I'm picturing.
Thank you.
I know we said that there's a silent spell going on.
Mm-hmm.
I would like there to be some sort of background ambiance now.
Yeah.
So I have turned on what is called Dragon Cave on Fantasy Plus.
Oh, seems fitting.
Nice.
It does seem fitting. So yes, there are going to be roars in this, but just know
That's
that the
from-
dragon is silent.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
from the baby.
Ooh, they're echoes.
Oh, from roars long past.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll go with that. That sounds way cooler.
Cool. All right.
Okay, so you're at the bottom of these stairs, hidden in the shadows with your Starry Night cloak. The rest of you are still up at the top of the stairs / creeping down them. Is that correct? Okay, go ahead and... This dragon, mind you, doesn't look like it's sleeping, but it also doesn't seem like it's aware of your presence.
Even with the like tapping on the ground, trying to like generate noise.
I forgot you did that. I'm not going to lie to you. It's aware that there is something here. And it's kind of peeked its head up and is looking high towards the entrance where you're at. Are you trying to be seen or are you just trying to be heard?
I am trying to be seen.
Okay.
So like maybe not like toes hanging off the edge, but like a little bit closer to the edge and just like cling, cling,
Yeah.
cling.
As you continue doing this, the dragon kind of hones in on you, and you can see kind of into the depths of this dragon's eyes as they kind of glow bright once it's found you.
You did it. I'm just confused because I thought he was supposed to be climbing.
Okay.
And
And
continue.
are you going to continue to tap?
Yep.
Okay.
I am the distraction. TM.
This tapping is really pissing him off. Or her. It's a girl dragon. Really pissing her off. And you see the glowing get brighter and brighter in her eyes, and you also start to see that kind of like flow down towards her
Esophagus.
her like esophagus, her throat, kind of into her belly, the little that you can see that's exposed from being curled up. And as it hits her stomach, you kind of watch it all sort of vanish in one fell swoop, and that same glowing starts emanating from her mouth. You realize that it is
Damn.
fire.
I was hoping
And
that
it's
the
directed
vow of
toward
silence
you.
would have been like nothing with that, but
Oh, okay. I get
I
what
was
you're
thinking
saying.
like if it had like roar effects.
Yeah, that's what I was expecting. Yeah, but I see where you're coming from.
yeah, because I mean, multiple different ways of like the vow of silence. So
Yeah, yeah. You know, this is just very quiet fire.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, I was picturing more of like it can't make noise.
And it's still curled up on the gold.
It's annoyed that there's something here, but it's obviously dealt with others before.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem too threatened, more just mad.
Okay. I don't think I'm going to attack just yet. I think I'm going to hold my prepared action.
As I see the like glow starting to like emanate through, I would like to sheath my sword, transfer book to my sword arm, and ready shield.
Okay.
Did you said that the dragon was like green gold, the baby?
Yeah.
Did it look like similar to what was on the guy?
It
Is
does.
it that color?
Ooh, okay.
Does it look injured at all? Or is it hard to tell from where I'm at?
I would say from where you're at, you probably don't have the greatest look at him just because the bigger dragon is so much bigger than the baby is. But remind me that you're curious about that as you get closer. And
Okay. And if I get close to him, I want to like grab one of the vials
okay.
Yeah.
that he has of the health potion.
Yeah, definitely. I pass it off.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm readying myself for the fire that's about to come.
Okay. The fire hits your shield. It's super hot, like to the point where you want to drop this shield. But you know that that would be way worse than the heat that you're feeling. And so you kind of hold steady. And the fire... what's a good word for that? I want to say recesses, but that's not really...
Dissipates?
Thank you. Yeah, dissipates. And you're
Red.
able to kind of peek around your shield finally as like it stops being so disgustingly hot. You peek around and you see that the dragon is kind of rearing up to move. It's kind of getting off of its very stationary position and kind of clambering onto its feet.
Red is going to also peer from behind your shield. Be like, oh, thanks, bud. Yeah, I think I am going to start sneaking around the edge of this room to try and get like more of a flanking position
Okay.
on the dragon.
Sure.
Uh,
Go ahead and move your little mini to where
Okay.
you want to be.
I'm
Yeah.
wanting to go towards the green or the little guy.
Okay.
If you want to go the other way for a
So
flanking
come
situation.
this-
In front of the dragon?
Oh,
Is there a good place for me to hide there?
that's fair. I guess he would be going.
You both could just sneak the same
Yeah,
direction.
we could sneak the same direction.
And then you could stop,
Yeah.
and then he can keep going maybe, if that's what you guys are wanting to
Yeah,
do.
because I was wanting to check to see if the baby dragon was okay, and maybe that's why the mom dragon was mad.
That makes total sense. Are we close enough to see that now?
Yeah, I would say you can probably see it from here. You can see that the baby dragon is kind of curled up, and its wings, rather than being tucked behind its back where they naturally go, the wing is kind of one wing is kind of cradling another wing, and you can see there's been like a pretty decent like scratch on it, where some of its scales are missing, and that at that point you can see that it's kind of translucent versus it being greenish gold like the rest of the body is.
Do I know how? Does health potion? Is it just more effective if you drink it, or if you apply it topically, or is it just equal?
I'm gonna roll for this one. Equal.
Okay. I'm planning on, if I can, reach the baby dragon on like applying it topically. I guess would be the easiest way to
Okay.
do it.
Yeah.
Um,
Are you trying to do that right now?
if that is okay,
What
yes.
happened to Dragon?
Oh, no.
It's going again. There we go. Okay, sorry. So, say what you said again.
I'm trying to sneak up and I guess basically dump the health potion that I have on the scratch across its body, or the cut across its body.
Yeah.
Focusing kind of like on where the wing is.
I would say give me an act roll. And then your questions are: do you have the right items?
Yes.
Do you have the advantage? I would say probably yes, because the dragon isn't alerted to your presence right now.
Okay.
And then what is your question for yourself?
Are you relying on brute strength? I am if the dragon struggles against me at all, but not if it's just gonna like chill there and watch me pour stuff on it.
Okay. I think it's...
Either way, I
think
got
it's
at least
scared
11.
enough that it would probably fight a little bit.
Okay,
So
then
but an
12.
11 is going to be fine. Yeah. Or a 12, either way. So, do you want to describe how you kind of wrestle this baby dragon to force it to be better?
I'm just gonna. How big is it? Is it bigger than me, or can I hug it?
I would say you could hug it. It's probably about as big as you are. Like, it's it's still little for a dragon, but it's kind of big.
I'm gonna give it a hug, kind of avoiding any of the parts or touching any of the parts where it's injured or moving them, and then like just kind of try and be comforting, but I don't know how to comfort a dragon. I'm like, oh, it's okay. Like, and I'm gonna dump the potion on its wounds.
Okay. As you're comforting the dragon, the mom whips around so that it can face this noise that it's hearing, unless it's for the whole
cavern?
No, it's just for the
dragon.
people.
Okay.
Yep.
Or the intelligent beings that I choose. So, the dragon.
Okay. So it hears you trying to comfort it and whips around. But the liquid, the health potion that you put on to the wound is starting to heal it up. You can see it kind of like fizzling together, and the greenish goldish scales are kind of coming back too. And there's no more translucent cut
I'm
anymore.
going to gently let it go
Okay. Yeah.
and like back up. 'Cause I assume I noticed the dragon.
Yeah, it's like in your face at this point,
Yeah.
essentially. Like, it faces you. The baby dragon, kind of runs in towards its mom, and you're backing away. And the dragon just has this hot, fiery breath, like it's like nose breathing on you, like you can feel it, and it can't see you, Joseph, but it's like you can feel this air too.
Okay.
It's kind of brushing your cloak back a little bit, but it's looking dead in your eyes, and you can tell that it's not so angry anymore.
Okay.
I'm so stressed. Okay.
But it's still like in your face. Like
I want to keep backing up. I'm going to say, I think maybe this isn't a 3-person job.
You're just running away? I'm
I
like,
fixed the
Like-
baby so she's less mad.
so now we have 2 dragons to kill?
I don't think the baby's much of a threat.
Okay, but the big one is.
Right, but now when I don't know. Maybe she was just mad because people were trying to kill her baby.
But maybe.
Maybe people just should leave this place alone and they'll chill out.
But what are we going to tell King Larry?
That the dragon's less angry. Stop trying to kill it.
I don't know. I feel like if
We're besties now. We're not. Do you have a better idea?
as this conversation is going on, the dragon's like kind of, you know, when dogs do the head tilt thing,
Yeah.
the dragon kind of head tilts, trying to figure out who or what you're talking to, because you're
throwing
not
my voice.
you're not moving, but you're also obviously like engaged in something. But
Can dragons in this world speak common?
no, they can't.
That's a good point. Yeah.
They're very
Also-
intelligent. They just don't.
Is there
Speak.
anything else in this cavern? Because there were like stairs and torches, and dragons don't typically need those. Is there any signs of people aside from the dead ones?
Yeah, there are. It seems like there's like some like bookcases like in this area over here a little bit, that have some like burned books now. And it looks like there's also maybe just like a little table area over here. So it looks like this was purposefully made for something of human use, but like there doesn't seem to be any like human in here besides.
Okay.
And there's no other like tunnels leading away or anything like that.
Not that you can see, it just seems like this one.
I guess like glancing down at the bodies, are there any of them that are out of place? Maybe one that wasn't part of the group that we saw at the castle?
That's a very good question. Yeah, there is. And it's by this table.
It looks to be a wizard of some type based off of their robes instead of their armor.
Okay.
Does it look like they died violently by dragon, or does it look like they died some other way?
It looks like they were burned,
Okay.
but from where you're at, Sir Knight, you can see that it's kind of hard to make out since you're pretty high up, but you can see similar tomes or similar runes on the tomes that are on the bookshelves that haven't, or then like on the floor that have been disturbed from the various fights that have gone on in here. And you can see on the table that there's definitely some like magic items that are placed there for wizarding purposes.
Okay. I think I'm going to start walking down the stairs.
Okay.
Not trying to be quiet. Being as loud as normal. And I want to make my way over there.
Sir Knight, she wants to get out of here. We think we've diffused the situation.
And I'll tap, like, try and mime at my nose, and then point over in the direction where I'm trying to head.
I don't care what you smell. We should probably get out of here.
I think he's pointing to the table.
And you smell something over at the table?
I'll point back to the
It's
table.
probably the dragon.
I'll point back to the table, and then I'll, like, mime, like, a similar, like, sharp, jagged rune in the
I
air,
can't
like, drawing
read.
it.
Me either.
Have you started making your way to the table at this point? Are you
Yeah.
still okay?
I'm gonna go with him.
The
I'm like, we're
dragon
friends.
is like trying to watch both of you simultaneously, but obviously its eyes like can't.
Turns into a chameleon.
Yeah. So it's kind of like head on a swivel, going back and forth until Charlotte meets up with Sir Knight here, and because Joseph is still, Green is still hidden, the dragon turns its back and faces you guys over in the west corner. I guess it's not a corner; it's a circular shape, but
Yeah.
west side with the table.
I'm going
and
to
the
start
wizard.
heading towards the stairs now that the dragon's not looking directly at me.
Okay.
I would like to take my coin purse and hand it to Charlotte. And then kind of like motion towards the dragon, as then I just go to the runes.
I'm gonna dump it all on the dragon's pile.
Okay. Do you like move over to the pile and like place it, or do you just kind of like throw
Chuck it.
the coin purse at the dragon?
I approach the coin pile, but careful not to actually like touch it.
Okay.
And then I like just empty the coin purse.
Okay. The dragon kind of gets down low towards your face again, and kind of
Stop doing that.
like huffs at you, like
Like
And
dogs
then-
do when they want to play.
uh-huh.
Huh.
And then kind of backs up a little bit. And you can see from its body language that it's not gonna like leave you guys alone, but it's also
Tolerate.
not gonna fight you probably.
Okay.
Sir Knight.
Looking through these books, the runes that we're seeing, the magic stuff.
Okay. You're going through and you're looking at everything, and I imagine you're kind of going through things as you're seeing it, right? So you approach the bookshelves, and like some of the things that aren't fully burnt, you can tell are like various magic books, studying magic, various types and whatever. But when you get to the desk officially, you see splayed open is a magic book. And while you don't know how to necessarily read magic, you can absolutely recognize that it is more of a malicious type magic. And if you close the book,
that's the way to turn off magic.
if you close the book, the magic doesn't necessarily go away this time, but what you do see is that you see in that rough and jagged writing a green symbol, and the book seems to have like an iridescent, scaly leather binding.
I am going to make it to the top of the stairs
Okay.
and be like, Red, come here. Like, we need to get out of here. These people are crazy. They're making friends with dragons. King Larry, the Cool, is not a very level-headed person. He is not going to like this. We need to get out of here. We're not part of this anymore. And me and Red are going to go disappear into the forest.
Dang. Okay.
Okay.
Because I don't want to get eaten by a dragon. I don't want to get the king mad at me. And I'm saying this like to Red as we're leaving. It's like, this is crazy. Like, he's playing with magic. What are we doing out here even? And
Paired with the weirdest two people I could have possibly been paired with. One doesn't fucking talk.
Yeah,
You're just abandoning your friend.
I am.
I don't know if we're friends at this point.
Yeah, I
but
guess not anymore.
We just grew up in the same city.
Does the dragon seem to have any sort of like animosity towards the book?
It's definitely like glaring,
Like
when Sir Knight is messing with the book, but when he closes it, and the dragon notices that he's not using the book, she kind of again like calms down and kind of sinks back into her gold pile a little bit.
I'm gonna try and like Sir Knight, do you think maybe we should destroy? I don't know because I don't want to destroy the book because it seems to be connected. It looks. I'm sure that I would have noticed that it looks very similar to the little dragon. Mm-hmm. And so I'm wondering, like, is it like the little dragon is like being controlled by the wizard kind of thing, or is it like the wizard conjured the little dragon? So I'm gonna kind of like. Put the Sir Knight, could you put the book on the table?
I'll put my finger and thumb to my helmet, kind of like I'm thinking, and then I'll point to one of the torches on the wall.
Just could you put it on the table first? I want to see if we're supposed to get rid of this, because I was gonna hold my axe above it and watch the dragon's reaction.
I'll move.
I'm a dragon whisperer now.
I'll move my head in such a way that it's kind of like, and then I'll place the book down.
And then I'll walk over with my axe slowly.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll like kind of make the motion but not actually hit it and like look at the dragon like, hello? Yes?
And the dragon kind of like huffs again and gives you like a head nod.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think we should destroy this. I think you're right.
I'll grab a torch,
Fire
open the
seems
book,
better.
and place the torch in it.
Okay. The fire kind of erupts onto this book, and it's a greenish, glowing flame. The book is then... It takes a minute, but it's then fully burnt, and the dragon kind of has like happy eyes, and sinks back into its treasure, and wraps its baby close. And then just watches you.
I think then, seeing this, Sir Knight will, again, like, fist pump the air. There's no other, like, weird magical things on the table. Yeah, so I'll, like, fist pump the air. And then I'll look over to Charlotte and kind of, like, lead the way kind of a motion towards the stairs.
Okay. And I'll wave at the dragons as I leave. I don't know. They seem a lot more chill now, just in general.
Yeah, they're like ready to take a nap.
Oh. Cool. Yeah. I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna come over here and just whisper or like tell him like, okay, we're leaving.
There's no response.
Do I notice that Red is gone?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think he left.
I'll just kind of like head down. I'll put my hand out, palm up, and then with my other hand I'll have like two fingers like running away.
Yeah. So I guess we just tell the king that there's some wizard fucking with the dragon's baby. Dragon mad. Dragon not mad no more.
2 thumbs up.
And that's where we'll end our little adventure today.
All right.
I can't believe he ditched us.
Yeah,
Can't
that's
believe
kind of messed up.
Yeah.
Toxic.
Rip.
Ditched us in game, ditched us in real life.
Honestly.
Well, ditching us in real life was him being a bro, but
Yeah, true. But... yeah. I see the Powered by the Apocalypse system. I can see that it has interesting merits to it.
Yeah, and this is probably not like the full extent of the system since this is such a like simple game. But I definitely don't have as much animosity towards it as I once did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I can see why people like it.
Yeah.
It leaves a lot of room for roleplay.
Yeah, it really does. As far as this game in particular, having just classic knights and shit, that's fun. Obviously, we didn't have like a whole lot of time, but seeing this through like multiple different encounters leading up to the dragon could have been kind of interesting. I know we only had 2. Excuse me. So that could have been kind of fun playing around with, because it's when you rest that you can eat your rations and heal up. So messing around with that a little bit could have been fun. I did like the dungeon gear.
Yeah, I do too. I think that's a really cool aspect.
Yeah, that was one really nice thing from Blades in the Dark that I liked.
yeah.
So seeing it here was pretty nice.
Because a lot of times with equipment, you're just like, I don't know what I'm going to need. And then you get a bunch of stuff you don't ever use.
Yeah, all the time. Like most games. I would say as far as this game goes, like, I appreciate the simplicity. I feel like this would be a great game if you're like trying to convince your friends to play TTRPGs with you and they've never done that and they're like maybe not super nerds, like they're like work friends or something like that. This might be a good game to introduce them to, because it is so simple and because you can kind of do whatever you want, and you can, like, the point of it is to make it up on the fly. Being able to roll for everything in the game, essentially, in creating it, feels very similar to, like, getting together and playing a board game, right? Like, you don't really know how it's gonna work out. And it's not like somebody's prepped for weeks to present this game. So I feel like this would be a really good introductory game for people who, like, genuinely don't really have any want for Dungeons and Dragons yet. But that kind of goes into my cons for the game. I think for experienced TTRPG players, it unless you're fantastic at being a GM that comes up with things on the spot, it's kind of hard to come into this game and not really have any idea how it's going to go. I had a couple of encounters that I was ready with, but I think it's a lot harder when like you don't know the setting, you don't know who, like what the characters are going to be, you don't know any of that. And so like if you're awesome at improv, good on you. This will be a really fun exercise for you to do with your table, and it could be a really fun thing to do. But if you are more of somebody who needs to prep a little bit more to feel confident in what they're presenting, I don't think this is the game for you.
This felt like a demo of Powered by the Apocalypse type systems, which is both a good thing, getting to experience a Powered by the Apocalypse kind of a thing. I think having some of those advantages and having them be loose enough that you can pretty much have whatever kind of advantage you want, I think that's nice. It makes sense. But I don't think that it showed off the system like all the way is what it felt like to me. I also don't think that it necessarily showed off like role play or combat like in the a super unique kind of a way. All in all, I do agree. Yes, it is definitely for a little bit more of like the improv types, but in my opinion, it doesn't shine anywhere in particular. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it's a bad one shot.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is definitely like a fun one shot.
Yeah.
Would I put it on like my top one shots ever? No. But if you're looking for a one shot that doesn't need a lot of prep and that is fantasy based, like, this is a good one.
Because to compare it to other games that we've done, Font, Something's Wrong with the Chickens, and Slaying Dragons, all of which have, I'd even throw in Adventure Skeletons in there too, all of which have some kind of like improvisation thing. You kind of just show up, and then like even the GM just kind of shows up and then rolls and then just improvs away with whatever. Slaying Dragons is nice for the like deep emotional kind of role play. Something's Wrong with Chickens is a lot more fun. I would throw that in with Trash Pals as well.
Yeah, just kind of a silly, goofy time.
Silly, goofy time. Font, again, a little bit more emotional kind of a role play. This one, I think it's good if you are a little bit more not as into the role play aspect of things. I feel like it gives you some equipment. You use the equipment to overcome challenges, and that's kind of what you're doing.
You could make this a really puzzly game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it would be like a very good introductory type game because of that, where it's like it's kind of a nothing sandwich in the best way. Like, it's not really combat heavy. It's not really role play heavy. But it could be if your table starts really leaning into combat, right? Like, you guys weren't leaning into combat hardly at all. So, like, the same type of encounter, somebody could have been like, oh, well, like, I fight the water djinn and, like, kill it to death, like... And then maybe they are more apt, after doing that, they're more apt to kill the dragon, right? And then you're leaning more into that combat. But then maybe people really got into their feels while they're traveling. But you don't have to with this game. And so I think that's part of why I'm like, this would be good for like genuine newbies, because you get a taste of what a role-playing game is, but you're not forced into any one direction necessarily. So, yeah. I would say thing to steal from this game is the dungeon gear idea.
Yeah, it kind of goes along in with the Blades in the Dark. But
Yeah.
I just think that that's just like a better way to do things. Like if I got dungeon gear in Pathfinder and then as I used it, that's what it became, or it got used up depending on what it is. Like, I feel like that would be really awesome because like you were talking about earlier, like, man, sometimes I buy 75 feet of rope and then I don't need it. And it's really annoying because I'm like, oh man, I could have just spent that gold on literally anything else, you know?
Or you can even just be like hand wavy about it. It doesn't even have to be like, oh, you have a dungeon gear that's like whatever makes sense for you to have brought. You can just hand wave it. You can be like, yeah, you're a ranger. You probably would have stuff that rangers have. Like, you probably would have climbing gear because you climb up into trees like a weirdo all the time.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, sure, you didn't say specifically that you purchased climbing gear, but it's like, it's something you probably just have.
Yeah.
yeah, I feel like that kind of a mentality does save a lot of like time and extra effort. If your table is one who wants to like track weight even in 5e Pathfinder, like sure, have it so that then you have to buy specific items for adventures. Maybe give like a little bit of a hint, like, hey, you're going to be going into a mountainous region, so do with that what you will. That's perfectly fine. But for I think a large majority of groups, just having like, hey, I just want to have generic dungeon stuff. That's more than 5. It's fine. It's like the gear packs that you can get usually at character creation with some of those like D20 based systems. Having something like that where it's all clumped together of like, hey, here's the kind of things that this pack has, because you're a wizard, you're gonna have like scrolls or paper and shit. I think that is like definitely headed in the right direction, but just to straight up be like, look, you've got dungeon gear, call upon it whenever you need it, within reason, which is why I'm limiting you to only like 3 items. I think that's like as far as you can get in that direction, beyond just saying like, if it's dungeon gear, you're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I have anything like a different opinion on what I would steal here. I did think that having the bonus item of whatever the fuck we wanted was kind of cool.
Yeah, I agree with that. I would like to see that in other games as well.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's like, oh, I've got to go find this cool item, or like my GM has got to graciously bestow it upon me or whatever.
Or I have to spend a shitload of gold to get it.
Yeah, but sometimes it's like, I'm just trying to play a game to feel cool, you know? And like, it would be nice to be able to be like, I don't know, I'm a rogue and I just inherently have a cool dagger. Like, why can't I have that?
Yeah.
You know?
Especially when you've been roguing for years, you know?
Yeah, I do understand it for like a mechanical balancing kind of a standpoint
For sure.
longer term games, but it is nice in like these kinds of one shots to force a vow on someone, because that's cool, or to have like the spectral fists.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I didn't even use them.
I know, which I thought was funny because it was like, oh, she gonna fight, and then she was like, nah, I'm gonna peacefully heal this dragon.
We could say I used them to help hold the
Oh yeah.
thing. I did use them.
You did use them.
You know what?
That's
I
how you
just
were
now
able to
realized.
not harm the dragon. It was the ghost arms.
You could have used the ghost arms probably to like pluck your hand in and try and grab the
Yeah, but
ring in the bubbling
my
pool.
ghost arms aren't 6 feet long.
Oh, are they not?
They're arm length.
Yeah.
Oh,
Arm length.
okay. I was thinking like
It's not like
floating
Bigby's hand or anything.
Yeah, I was thinking something like that.
I was not really fully picturing anything, if I'm being honest.
I was just
if you
picturing,
had
these are
mentioned
my
that,
arms.
I probably would have given
These are
it
the
to you.
other arms.
But
You can't see, listener, but they're arms above arms. Arms. It's a
I
weird word.
I do think that, like, specifically for one shots, that like granting a sick ass item
Yeah.
should just be standard, in my opinion. It's a one shot.
It's fun.
Yeah.
People should just be able to have something cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I got to say.
Yeah,
It's kind of
I
weird
had
to not
fun.
be so chatty about a game, but
Well, it's a pretty short,
it's a short game, and
simple.
yeah, it was very straightforward. I think if you're a beginner player, pop off. I think if you're a beginner GM, pop off. Like I just know that if you're a beginner GM, you might stumble a little bit just because like now you have to think of things on the spot.
If you're good at improv, then
Yeah, exactly. If you're good at improv, you'd be fine. And also, if you are a new GM and you're going to play this game with your friends, I would just come to the table with a couple of cool encounters, whether that be puzzles or fights or whatever that you're prepared with, and then
Adapt
it will
them
be
to whatever
help.
story.
it'll be help. That's not a sentence. It will be helpful
Yeah.
for once you have whatever story the table ends up creating.
Yeah, because like that waterfall thing could be easily adapted to like the jail kind of a thing of just like it's different prison cells in there that have like weird liquids going on or something like that.
Yeah, that was actually stolen from the 5e campaign that I played at Nova.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's actually a room, and it's like I think it's 14 pools of liquid, and each pool is different. And
that's stressful.
there's a water weird in them, in the one with the coins, but the coins aren't real, and in that dungeon, and that 5e campaign, or I guess one shot that I ran, or that I played. I didn't run it. That I played at Nova. It was based off of the Advanced Dungeons and Dragons book, so they adapted it to 5e. But this is like all of these pools of liquid, except for the glowy one, a pool of just water, and the health potion one are all designed to kill you. Just insta kill you, because it was Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, and that's what it did. But the acid pool was right next to the health pool, and so if you knew it was a health potion, you could feasibly jump into the acid pool and not fully die if you then jump into the health pool.
I was thinking about doing that, but they're very far away from each other.
I would have let it happen. We didn't know that it was a health pool, and so we found another way for our compatriot to like not die, but it was like we found out way later because we thought it was fire magic based off of like the detection spells that we used. We thought it was fire magic, so we like used it to try and like essentially like cast fireball, but like throw a grenade style of that, because we had a vial of it, and then he was like, it heals them. And we were like, what? No. Yeah. And so,
I'd be so upset. I'd be like,
yeah, it was so funny.
that is funny.
And then the ring at the bottom is an illusion.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it's a fucking cool
Yeah.
area of this dungeon. Like I nerded out so hard. I'm like kind of sad that I used it today, because I want to just like forever use the pools. Because it was a fun little like investigation puzzle-y thing. We tried to steal the coins, and then the water weird kicked our ass. Like it was like great. It was a great time. So that's where that came from. But yeah.
Awesome. All right.
You smell bad.
Yeah, you stink.
Yeah. Go take a shower.
Yeah.
Probably still not going to help.
Damn.
They're
Doses.
stinky.
Bye guys.
Oh, hold on.
Oh, wait.
Monument Studios.
Yeah,
You
go
have 2 days.
Yeah, go check them out. It ends on the 17th. So go do it. You will not regret it.
Yeah. They'll even make you a song.
No, yeah, they'll make a song for your campaign if you sign up for their like highest tier, which is like $1,000.
Yeah, which wild amount of money. So like definitely not something that I don't think anybody, like everybody can do that.
Yeah.
But if you can,
You don't think
if you have
everyone
just a
can
spare,
just buy a song?
if you have spare cash, like that's that's pretty cool. Because
Yeah.
it's going to be up to the grade of all the other sounds that you've heard, like through our whole time using them. And like click through, listen to them. They're awesome.
Yeah.
Anyways, doses.
Bye.
Bye.